Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Thursday, February the 18th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly cloudy skies with a high of 40. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU Athletics Executive Chef Michael Johnson joins us at 7:30. He'll answer all your Munchie questions, so get those into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. LSU head softball coach Beth Torina stops by at 8 a.m., and LSU head baseball coach Paul Mainieri joins the show at 8:30. You can follow the show today on Twitter at @OTB_ESPN or watch live at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Get your thoughts inside the Bayou Ford chat. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in to Off the Bench. T-Bob and Hester, Musso and Danny hanging out here as well. This is a relatively new show, but it is a show that is already making a huge impact, as it looks like our show has become the harbinger of doom for spring sports. Ever since this show was formed, ice and sleet has enveloped the earth. As you will see, no games are able to be played. Poor Matthew Musso has to wait 24 more hours for the start of baseball season.
I will be making no comments at this time.
I mean, how many days?
My privacy.
How many days has it been? It's been almost a full calendar year, right?
March I don't know. It was South Alabama on a Tuesday. It was the last game they played.
March 12th was like when everything shut down, so let's just use that day.
Isaiah Ryder's birthday, March 12th.
Oh, between the legs, Isaiah Ryder, slam dunk contest?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason it's my little brother's birthday as well. And I love remembering, like, you just always want to see when you're a little kid. Sports Illustrated for Kids had this great resource on the website where you could check with athletes had your birthday. I had a good one. He had Isaiah Ryder. You know what I got? Vlad Guerrero. How about it? Yeah.
Never saw a pitch he didn't like.
Yeah, hey, well, that feels a little disrespectful.
But no, he could hit him.
Yeah, he could.
Like, it'd be rolling on the ground, and he'd still hit it, but he still liked it.
The old Expos. But we're not here to talk about the Expos. We're here to talk about today's hot sports. Also, just wait. You look at mock drafts, which it is like firmly mock draft season. There's a little interesting, not consensus, but an interesting name is popping up on Saints mock drafts. Maybe a bit too often for what some Saints fans would want, or maybe it's going to make others happy. We'll get into it coming up at 7:15. But first, let's dive into some headlines. Well, excuse me. Actually, you know what? Excuse me. Skirt. Jacob, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. But
after 8 hours of radio yesterday,
6 more today, and today is the last day that I'll have any double duty. So I'm excited to only have one show.
Yeah, that's good.
Yesterday was interesting.
I mean, that's a long time. That's what we did during football season this year with the fan cave and everything.
Yeah, we didn't get to drink beers, though.
That is true. That is true. And that's no fun because the beers do make everything go down smoother and easier. And then sometimes you stumble into a rant talking about European countries and fan bases and whatever. All right, now let's get into some headlines brought to you by Barbecue Guys.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
As we said earlier in the show, the creation of this show has been the harbinger of doom. The SEC has postponed all men's hoops games.
Not official till tomorrow, so just settle down a little bit.
Oh, wait, so it's going to get worse. So, like, tomorrow when we go on air, they're just going to be like, and LSU baseball, we have stopped the program.
Yeah, you need to chill out, pal. Like,
there's a new COVID strain.
I don't know what you're trying to do.
There's a new COVID strain, and March Madness has been canceled. LSU baseball season's been canceled.
No more softball. It's gone too.
Yeah, the creation or whatever, the SEC though has postponed all men's hoops games.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball is going to shoot every shot at the end of the game. Oh, we'll get there later.
Real early in headlines to be triggering me.
Yeah,
Okay.
he deserves it for the baseball comment. Good job, Jacob.
But so LSU Ole Miss this afternoon, a game that already was crazy in how it came about, right? LSU tried to schedule UNC, then it was Ole Miss on Wednesday, then it was Ole Miss on Thursday, now it's Ole Miss TBD. As it's been postponed, makeup dips have not been determined.
You think that game's going to get made up?
No,
because
no,
you
I
still
wouldn't
got
have- yeah.
games against Florida and Missouri that you miss.
I would not think so. I don't know how exactly the end of the season is going to shake out. I do know, and this should make you feel good if you're an LSU fan, that Will Wade will advocate for whatever gives his team the best opportunity to raise their seed in the bracket. He's not going to shy away from anything, but I'd be surprised if these two teams played. It means that the Tigers won't be back in action until Saturday. Big Saturday lining up, though. LSU fans will be back in action Saturday at 3 p.m. in the PMAC against Auburn. Jake, you know way more about SEC basketball than me. What's the word on Auburn this season?
So Auburn, they got one of their star freshmen, about 12 games into the season. They started playing much better, scoring a lot of points, but they have fell on hard times lately. They have really fallen. They lost to Kentucky their last time out. So they had a little bit of a peak, but it was a quick peak, and now it's back into the valley.
Just always get sketched out by
They
Bruce
can score.
Pearl.
They can score a lot of points, though. They do have a star freshman in Cooper. So, you can't just show up and win.
I couldn't tell if Cooper was a first name or a last name, and you've
Last
forgotten
name.
his last name. No, I ended up gathering that. LSU women's basketball as well has been postponed, but not too long. They'll be at number 17 Kentucky tomorrow at 1 p.m. And as we alluded to, fortunately for Danny and whoever he had to cancel plans with, if Danny canceled plans with you, he's free again, okay?
That's 23 years old.
Teresa?
Hey, 48 hours from now, those plans we had, can't get them back.
Yeah, but so I'm starting to do the math, though, because you're right. It's ridiculous for someone that young to have that many demands on his time. But we all know Danny loves cougar hunting, right? And if you're
I actually didn't know that.
If
I'm
you're a
new to
mother of
this.
multiple children, maybe he does have a tight schedule that he's trying to plan around here. So unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for Danny and his hunt, LSU baseball's opener has been postponed until Saturday. Womp womp. Hopefully they'll still give us tickets. We got to talk to work about that. I still want to go. 1 p.m. Saturday versus Air Force. They will now play on Sunday at noon against Notre Dame, and the series will finish up with a night game Monday at 6:30 against La Tech. Again, there is a round-robin setup this weekend as well. If you want a full list of the other rescheduled times, go to lsusports.net. But again, fans will only be allowed at games featuring LSU, 25% capacity. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to witness Jaden Hill. Does Jaden, was the cold weather making you at all worried, Musso, about him debuting?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to wait another day, then.
I mean, if you've waited this long, it's...
What's 24 more
Yeah,
hours? I
24 more
guess. I don't
hours.
know, man. I was getting really hyped for
24.
Friday
Yeah.
afternoon.
4
More
o'clock
grueling
beers.
hours.
Oh.
Well, you look, if we're being super technical, it's 21 hours since we go from 4 p.m. to 1 p.m. So there you go. You're like
The silver lining. Look at T-Bob, man. See, this is how
Moscona sitting in that seat? Chill
This
out.
is how he
I know, I'm
always
trying to be
manages
nice.
to hype up the Pelicans.
Yeah, I'm
Because
trying
he
to be
can find the
nice.
silver lining in everything.
It's like when Cartman really wants the Wii U to come out, so he decides to freeze himself to just speed up the Wii U coming out. Now you have 3 less hours to freeze yourself there, Moose.
Well, I've been frozen for about 3-4 days now, so.
That's completely fair. This room feels better today. In Pelicans news, a double-digit halftime lead evaporated under the furious surge of Dame Lillard. It was too strong in the end. The Pelicans fall to the Blazers 126-124. How about this? Portland, there's all this crazy travel stuff, got to New Orleans 3 hours before tip. But even though they were road weary, it was not enough. In the end, the Pelicans' biggest flaw got exposed last night, which is
The third quarter?
yes, that as well. But they don't have a finisher.
Yeah.
And I think, look, Zion scored 12 last night. Why he did not touch the ball in the final possession is absurd. Here is Stan Van Gundy explaining the plan behind the final possession.
Well, we just tried to get in a two-man game with our two best players. That was all we tried to get. We tried to get Brandon and Zion two-man game together. Didn't get much out of it, but a great play by Josh keeping it alive. and managed to get, we got 2 shots down the stretch. So probably not the ones we would like to get, but we got 2 shots down the stretch. So.
I mean, you can
minus the probably, Stan.
Well, I feel like that is such a like kind of a coded like Lonzo. What is he doing, dude? I mean, because he even says right. We tried to create a game with our 2 best players. Like that's who we wanted, either Zion or Brandon Ingram to take this shot, and Lonzo with 8 seconds on the clock just doesn't take a 3. Takes like a deep 3, and look, I don't want to over-criticize Lonzo here because, again, his rise has been one of the things that's pushed the Pelicans up a bit and led them to some of these wins, but that's not his role. No. Like we said, he's not the main engine. He's maybe the piece that gives you the final push to get more wins, but he does not need to be taking these final shots. And I know that Brandon Ingram has really struggled in this role as well, but I would rather him continue to fail and eventually build that skill set up than Lonzo Ball. And obviously, Zion had 12 in the fourth. Why are we not letting Zion touch the ball?
Do you remember when Draymond Green and Kevin Durant got in a kind of a big argument when they were with the Warriors together? It's because they were playing the Clippers. It was a tied game. Rebound. Draymond Green gets it. Durant's like, hey, call for the ball. Hey, give me the ball. I'm Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Okay, give me the ball. Draymond tries to dribble it full court. Doesn't even get a shot off before time expires. Like, falls on the court. And Kevin Durant is going after him. Last night, the Pelicans needed a player to go after Lonzo and say, that ain't you.
Yeah.
That is not what you're here for. And Zion's young. Probably wasn't going to come from him, but I would have loved to seen it.
I would have loved to see it. Like force it to him, or just, you got to tell Bi, and we'll get into it more later because we're going long here. But Zion last night, 12 in the fourth, 36 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Zion Williamson is 51 games in his career. He is doing things that are literally record-breaking night in and night out. LSU softball bats get hot despite the cold. That's right. That's a T-Bob original there. They beat North Dakota 19-3. How about Amanda Doyle doing her best Fernando Tatis impression? She hit 2 home runs all of last season, Jake. She hit 2 home runs in 1 inning last night, including her first career grand slam. Shout out to the senior Amanda Doyle. We'll talk to Beth Torina coming up at 8 p.m. Huge weekend for softball teams. They head to Alabama, where playing the Bama Bash. A couple games against Liberty, but more importantly, a couple games against number 5 Alabama coming up. In some national news, Tim Tebow has retired from baseball. 5 years in the minors. Made it to AAA for 77 games.
Did.
Actually made a AA All-Star game the year he batted .273, 6 home runs. Look, man, I love making fun of Tim Tebow as much as the next guy. Watching his fade creep further and further towards the center of his head is one of my favorite games to play each football season. But I respect what he did with this, man. This dude went chasing his dream, and he pushed it as far as he was physically able to in a game where it should be like impossible to do that. And, there you go. He's nothing good on you.
Why are you hating
Tebow.
on that man's fade?
Have you seen how far it's creeping up?
Yeah, it's a little hard part.
The line is like starting in the middle of his head now.
He's trying to bring the butt cut back.
I know, but
we all had it.
Soon it's going to be like the top of his head's going to be shaved, and then just the side is going to have volume. Look at it. It's getting crazier and crazier.
Shout out to my guy, Tim.
Yeah, look, man, like I said, I like making fun of him because, look, all these public personas, like wrestling personas. He's obviously a very good person, and I don't want to crap on anybody chasing their dreams. So shout out Tim Tebow. Speaking of chasing your dreams, Alvin Kamara continues to fall in love with NASCAR. As last year, he got into NASCAR, and now he's getting in financially as well as the Big Squeezy. I didn't realize he owned the Big Squeezy, which
I think he's a
co-owner.
franchisee, part owner.
Yeah, he's got like 9
something.
franchises in Louisiana or something. So the Big Squeeze will be the primary sponsor for the number 6 car in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Chevy, driven by Ryan Vargas. Vargas is only 20 years old. How awesome for him. Not only are you 20 years old driving in a NASCAR series, but now you got Alvin Kamara as your main sponsor. So I thought that was pretty cool. Kamara expanding his empire off of the field.
There's a lot of people that are going into the NASCAR world.
Yeah.
A lot of investors, a lot of famous athletes are going into the NASCAR world. So maybe we need to put a team together.
NASCAR, yes. I don't know if we have the finances. Actually, I don't know. Your walk-ons are just, I don't know, bro. Let's go, dude. Put our faces on a car. But yeah, look, NASCAR, real talk, they've had a big push to increase diversity, and they've done a very good job. And I think it's exposing the sport to a lot of people that haven't gotten to see it. And then finally, speaking of Fernando Tatis Jr., how about it, boys? Is it crazy that my initial reaction was he was underpaid by this contract? Is that weird? Am I wrong there?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I know. I
think.
thought the same thing.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
okay. Thank you. Yeah,
Oh.
thank you.
I did.
14 years, $340 million for Fernando Tatis Jr.
Because when you sign a 14-year deal, now you can go back to the table and renegotiate. But I thought over 14 years, what was the total? 360?
I read 340.
All right, 340. Let's do some math here.
Okay.
That's a lot of. That's
340. My
$24 million per year.
The reason I say he's not is he's still 5 years younger than Mike Trout and Mookie Betts when they got their contract similar to this.
Oh, okay. So 5 years.
Dominated
he's half a decade
he
younger.
dominated a 60-game season.
Right,
it
right.
was great.
Oh, he's a stud. The
The investment will probably pay off, but
So okay,
it felt
so it kind of makes
a
sense.
little early.
Yeah, it is early. Okay, so that makes sense. So you get both sides.
But early's not always good because there might be years where the market completely changes, and
That's fair.
he's 6 years in this contract, and there's guys getting $600 million.
Yeah.
We don't think about that. You're like, no, they're not. Like, did we ever think somebody would get $340 million when A-Rod signed his first big deal, and we thought that was just ridiculous?
That's fair.
How much did Pat Mahomes get again?
Like $500 million or
Yeah, that's what I
something.
thought. It was 500, right? Wow.
With I think when the incentives kicked in and whatnot.
Unbelievable.
Right? It wasn't actually like they didn't sign them into a $500 million contract.
We'll look it up.
Straight up.
We got to go, though. That is Headlines,
did.
brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Coming up next, we'll talk about the name that is cropping up in Saints mock drafts. Very interesting for you LSU fans. So stick around here on Off the Bench.
OTB headlines are presented daily by Barbecue Guys. Remember, the most popular grill on the market is Blaze Grills, premium gas grills that combine expert engineering and dependable performance, all backed by a best-in-class lifetime warranty. Visit barbecueguys.com or our local showroom to learn more about Blaze Grills. Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Go to AccuTempBR.com today. That's AccuTempBR.com for all your heating, cooling, electrical needs. But really, you want to act now while supplies last because AccuTemp has an incredible deal going on. If you buy an AC unit from AccuTemp right now, you will get a furnace for completely free. Now, this is a limited time offer, so act while supplies last. But you buy an AC unit, you get a furnace for completely free. And guess what? On that AC unit purchase, no payments, no interest for 6 months. And then you get welcome in the Agatin family. If you're not there yet, come experience how they look. They have a 4.9 Google review rate with over 1,200 reviews. The internet universally loves nothing, and yet it loves AccuTemp, and it's because when you work with them, you'll experience it firsthand. I have. Like I said, 6 months ago, they helped get my system all checked up, good to go. They called me the other day, hey, we got to come out and look at things. They come out, they look. I'm like, okay, what do I owe you? I owe them nothing. They're staying on top of it for me to avoid disaster. Go to AccuTempBR.com today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Musso and Danny as well. Don't worry, Danny texted Cheryl. They're all good. They're back on, man. We're golden.
Yeah, Diane canceled on him last week.
Yeah, Diane. That's the most cougar name I've ever heard. Okay, so right now, though, I want to talk. Remember, we got Chef Michael Johnson coming up at 7:30 to answer all of your Munchies questions.
I'm excited about that one.
Is your first Munchies? That
was one of my favorite segments from afar. So
yeah, Chef Johnson.
I know Chef, so it's.
I love anybody who is just a fount of professional knowledge. Yes. Maybe it's because I am not, but anybody who is, I find fascinating to talk to, because we cannot hit him with a question.
No, he's like MacGyver a little bit. Like, you throw something, he's like, oh, well, you can take this, you can take this, you can put it together, and it actually tastes pretty good.
Exactly. I've always thought of him as our own kind of like Ron McGill. How Levitard show has Ron McGill answering animal questions.
Animal questions, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of that's kind
Miami
of the
Zoo, right?
Yes. Yeah. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I was thinking about this morning. Does that mean that plagiarism just means you're obsessed with the person? I don't know. But that's a different question. Right now,
that's from my English teacher.
I want to talk about quarterback, and I want to talk about. And it's weird how this conversation came out of my head. It started with Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh, because things are getting a little awkward there.
Yeah.
Big Ben has told the Steelers, "I don't care about money. I want to be back no matter what." Here's what Steelers GM Kevin Colbert had to say about it. As we sit here today, Ben is a member of the Steelers.
Oh boy.
He met with Coach Tomlin. He met with Art Rooney. He met with myself shortly after the season ended. He reiterated us that he wants to continue to play. We told him, quite frankly, we have to look at this current situation. Now, again, Roethlisberger accounts for $41 million against the cap. He said he will basically do it for free, though. Said, I don't care about money at all this year. And they're still kind of like, I don't know. So when that started, I was like, well,
they remember when he didn't play a couple years ago, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, who do they have on the roster? They have Mason Rudolph.
And the duck collar
I guess Duck Hodges is still there. Dwayne Haskins. They have
This one
signed,
Dwayne
actually.
but- okay.
But, no, yes. Okay, so they don't have a great plan. So then my brain gets spinning, and it's like, that's yet another team in the quarterback market for this upcoming draft. Even if they don't move away from Roethlisberger, right? Like, it makes too much sense for them to draft one and keep him under Roethlisberger. So then it's like, well, okay, what does this quarterback list look like? Who all is getting involved here? And then you start diving in to the mock draft. So right now in The Athletic, Dane Brugler has a top 10 quarterback in the draft ranking. He has Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Davis Mills, shout out Greater Atlanta Christian School, Kyle Trask, Ian Book, Kellen Mond, and Jamie Newman. Jake, any great opinions on that top 4 there? That seems to be where kind of the cutoff point for guys that people are really excited about is Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance.
There's a questions with all 3 of the guys behind Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right? So you've got Wilson coming from BYU. Is his game going to translate to the NFL? I think Justin Fields is a physical specimen. When he came on his official visit to LSU, I thought he was like a pro coming back with an LSU guy, like coming to hang out. Like he was 17 years old. I mean, he's got the look, he's got the skill set. You know, can he be consistent enough? I actually like his game a little bit better than others. And then when you look at Trey Lance, and you hate
his numbers are wild.
Yeah, they are. But you hate to group him with Carson Wentz because they went to the same school. Like, you try not to do that, but it's just a different level. I mean, I think that's fair to say. The FCS level is where he dominated. You know, and we only got to see him in a showcase game against Central Arkansas this year. It was a 1-game deal, and he actually didn't play great. And Central Arkansas is a good FCS team, but that's a big risk. That's like risk reward. Like,
he's young. He's not even 21 years old. He's right on the edge of 21 here. So, yes.
Yeah, but the NFL is not a teaching league.
Yeah.
NFL is not a teaching. Coaches do not teach in the NFL.
What about, I wonder if there's a spot that he could land in for a bit and try to grow a bit. He will be a first-round pick, though. So, like,
I'm sure
somebody,
Green Bay will trade up and take him and let him sit behind.
Exactly. For what it's worth, the mock draft that I'm reading from Dane Brugler of The Athletic has the Washington football team trading up to get him, which would make sense. I mean, because they got Alex Smith. They got Heineke. He could kind of sit behind
I think
for
Alex
a bit.
Smith's a free agent now, but didn't they sign Heineke to a little bit of a a top backup kind of deal?
I don't know about I can't. You know what? I can't speak to that. What I've read is that Heineke is still under contract, and I think Smith is still under contract, but I could absolutely be wrong there. So the point is, the top 4 quarterbacks are the guys that people are most excited about, right? Those will be off the board no matter what when the Saints get to pick, right? I mean, Lawrence Wilson make too much sense at 1-2, especially if the Jets don't make a move for Deshaun Watson or something, because there are actually guys that have Wilson above Lawrence even, a few. They're out there. There's too much of a market for Fields, for Lance. So then you get into the bottom half of that top 10. You get in Mac Jones, Davis Mills, Kyle Trask, Ian Book, Kellen Mond, Jamie Newman. And here's where it gets interesting for Saints fans. There are multiple mock drafts from, the foremost minds that have the New Orleans Saints taking Mac Jones at 28. What do you think, Jake? What's your philosophically, I hate taking the 5th quarterback off the board no matter what the name is in the first round, because that you are automatically by definition overreaching for a position. But what's your thoughts on Mac Jones? And then we'll kind of get into him fitting in with the Saints.
I like Mac Jones more than some of the other names that you said. I think Mac Jones has still potential left. I think that when you look at him, I saw the picture with him smoking a cigar. I realize he's not a physical specimen. I get all that.
But representation matters. And he's holding it down for all of us pudgy dad bods. So thanks for that, Matt.
But he grew a lot this year, and I know he had a lot of talent around him. I think, if possible, he's a guy that probably needs a year to figure it out if you can sit him behind someone. Now, New Orleans, I don't know if you have that situation, but there is a lot to like about his game. I'm not going to hate on him because he played at Alabama. I like him better than I do right now some of the other guys because I've seen it at the highest level. I've seen him go against some elite defenders and torch them. And you can say, well, look who he had around him. Well, in the NFL, you're going to have the same kind of talent around you. You're going to have Jimmys and Joes, especially if you go to New Orleans.
You'll have the same talent, but you also have the more talented defenders. I mean, he's going to be fascinating insight to me with what I always describe it. Alabama, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So you never quite know which Alabama player is going to sink or swim when they get on a more even playing field. So he'll have great talent around him offensively. He'll just be going against better talent. How do you feel about maybe his fit with the Saints specifically? Do you think that works better? Like, does Mac Jones make more sense under Sean Payton in New Orleans than other places?
I think so. He's an accurate quarterback, right? He might not have the biggest arm, but in Sean's offense, you don't have to have it. You don't have to push it down the field 70 yards. You know, that's not what they ask you to do, but you have to be accurate. You have to be able to complete the intermediate passes, the 12 to 18-yard passes, which he does very effectively. So I don't hate the pick. I don't know if he lasts at number 28. I'll be real honest with you, just because, you know, we're rolling off some of these names. I think NFL teams value Mac Jones a little bit more than some of the McShays and other people in the world. 15 to New England is kind of what I've been hearing.
Oh.
And, you know, kind of makes a lot of sense there for New England. But if the Saints got him, I wouldn't be upset. This is a guy that spent 4 years in college. He learned under some great coaches. He sat behind some great quarterbacks. There's a lot of knowledge that he probably learned throughout that process. We saw he didn't take his ball and go home when he wasn't the starter. He didn't go transfer somewhere. He bet on himself. He was committed to Kentucky. Alabama came calling. He said, no, I'd rather go compete and try to win the job there. So mentality-wise, I think he's got a pretty good makeup. Look, if this happens, if they decide to draft Mac Jones, don't give up crazy draft capital. Don't do that. But if you can get him.
No, you take him at 28. You don't trade up for Mac Jones. But, like, if he's there at 28, you make a compelling case for the Saints maybe getting involved. What do you think? Go ahead and let us know in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Coming up next, we will answer your Munchies questions with Chef Michael Johnson.
Off the bench.
Go to DonaldSoilGlassandBody.com today. Donald Soil Glass and Body for all of your vehicular needs. Icy conditions out there. Stay safe. But remember, if you do get in an accident, DG&B is the answer. Why? Well, the reasons are many. First and foremost, remember, the police cannot tell you who gets a tow. Insurance company cannot tell you where to go. DG&B handles both. The towing from the accident site, they then fix your vehicle and drop it back off. The towing is all completely free. Okay? But it's not just collision repair. Though it's the best body shop in the state, I'll put that on anything. They do tires, wheels, brakes, oil changes. You need an inspection sticker. They got your back. It's a literal one-stop car shop. And when you see their facilities and you work with DG&B, you're going to see what separates them. Obviously, the free towing is representative of their philosophy. The customer comes first. I love Donald Soil Glass and Body. You will too. Check it out for yourself. Go to DonaldSoilGlassandBody.com, DonaldSoilGlassandBody.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service. HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Chef Michael Johnson is back on OTB, brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys is your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Send your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag Munchies.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Right now, as we do every Thursday at 7:30, it's my pleasure to welcome on LSU Executive Chef, the man, at Le Chefre on Twitter. And we're talking about Chef Michael Johnson. Chef Johnson, what's going on, man?
I'm thawing.
Well, let's be honest, though. Are you thawing, or were you fine this entire time? As we were texting last night, you're like Bane. You are used to this cold. You've been walking around in shorts and T-shirts.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all, to be honest with you. So I feel kind of responsible for this, to be honest with you. I was talking to my parents a couple weeks ago when it was 85 degrees outside, rubbing it in their nose that it was 85 degrees outside in Louisiana. So
the Icarus tail, you flew a bit too close to the sun, and the wax melted off your wings, and then you froze. Okay, hashtag Munchies. Anchovies have been rated as the worst pizza topping. Why are they considered edible?
And a lot of people are eating the one type of anchovy, and they're salty and kind of disgusting. And I like to use them as a condiment or put them in sauces or something.
Okay.
But there are, if you've ever had a white anchovy, they're imported from Italy. They're quite delicious, and they're a different sort. And so, to label one anchovy as awful is to not give credit to the other. And if you go in search of a white anchovy, man, they're pretty good.
All right, Chef, I've got a question. The rumor's been floating around there because of this weather that's going to affect crawfish season. Do you have any updates on that? And please, if you do and it's bad, just don't say anything.
I'm not much of a crawfisherman, but I got to tell you, if it makes me want to go back in the house, I'm sure that the crawfish have a similar sentiment. So. Yeah.
Digging back under the mud. Hashtag Munchies, thin, thick, or deep dish pizza?
I guess it depends on where I'm at, honestly. Like, if I'm in Chicago, I'm going with the Chicago deep dish. But, if I'm in New York, I'm going with the thin crust or a Neapolitan style. Because that's what they do well. You know what I mean? Like, when in Rome, I think is the philosophy. So I love pizza. I've never met a pizza I didn't like.
Me too.
I think that it just depends on where you're at eating the pizza.
But what about when you're here?
Here, I like thin crust. I like the crispy thin crust. Yeah.
All right, we got this one coming in. Hashtag Munchies. Is whole milk really milk these days, and why does it go bad so quickly?
the dairy industry. There's a loaded question. It's interesting. they do so much stuff to the milk these days that I don't even know what the proper answer for that is. Like the non-dairy milk that's actually milk, and I don't know how they go about that, removing the proteins and such. But I guess it's still milk. I've had raw milk before, and it's quite delicious, but it's a
like
very
straight from the udder, like straight like
right.
on the ground, just like squeezing it into your mouth.
No, right off the ground, right out of the bucket.
Yeah,
There's actually a lot of places in the Northwest that are making raw milk, and but it's kind of a volatile subject. Like the bacteria that are in it may potentially cause hazardous. But then also there's nutrient in them that has not been lost through the pasteurization process that it gives the body better things. And me personally, guys, I don't really drink too much milk. I worked for the doctor for a while that said milk is for babies and calves, and I took his advice. So
I guess I'm a baby because it's my favorite drink that there is.
Jacob's a psychopath, Chef. He doesn't even drink water.
No,
he drinks
milk's
like
better.
coffee and milk, and that's it.
Yeah, milk's fantastic. Hey, I've never broken a bone there, T-Bob. All right, calcium way up.
Sure.
Hey, so all right, let's stay in the same line here. Oat milk, almond milk, all these different types of milk. Is that because of the sketchiness of just straight up milk?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with allergy of milk, like lactose allergy and a calling for it. Like what people are starting to find out, and I'm actually one of them, that milk from cows actually, they might have a mild allergy, and it causes discomfort and other things. And it's out of necessity. And like I've actually had Oatly, the oat milk. It's not terrible. We use it in the morning for making like chia pudding or something like that, where we don't want to put any allergens in it. And Oatly is gluten free and it's dairy free, so it meets all the checks all the boxes of the magic bullet of not having gluten, not having allergens in it, and so they have a place. There's a place for it. And there's lots of people using it. So
yeah, look, Oatly's not bad. Their Super Bowl commercial was horrible, though.
Oh
my God, dude!
Imagine piano, right?
Imagine spending millions of dollars for the CEO to be like, I just want to hop on the piano and just like sing a crappy song. Sure.
Yeah.
It is National Wine Day, Chef.
Okay.
Think we can all appreciate that. I see Musso perking up. Hashtag Munchies. What's your favorite vino?
I usually go for like a medium red body or red medium body wine, like a Syrah or a Shiraz or a Petit Syrah, something like that. But it also depends on what I'm eating. If I'm assuming I'm eating as well. If it's a heavy steak, I'll go with a heavier wine like a Cab or a Zinfandel.
What are you pairing with a? Okay, nobody ever does this. If you were going to drink wine with crawfish, what would you pair it with?
I don't know. When you say crawfish, I'm thinking Chablis, like a white wine, kind of contrast to your, like a Pinot Grigio or something like that. I don't know.
All right. T-Bob asked the wine questions. I've got this one because I'm a redneck. Hashtag Munchies. How do you cook cabbage?
I like to sweat and braise my cabbage. Like put it in with oil and brown it first, and then put a little liquid in with it, and probably some ham hocks or some sort of pork. T-Bob knows that I'm a pork fan.
Yes.
Pork fan, big pork fan. Yep. and cook it down slow like that. I like it cooked low and slow, like greens.
Nary a week goes by without a mention of pork belly during the Munchies segment. Hashtag Munchies. Give me your best hot toddy recipe.
Hot toddy. I like Mexican chocolate in my hot toddy. A little honey, maybe. It depends on if I'm having it with tea or hot cocoa, which I think it could be used in either. So if you're going tea, it's probably going to be honey. If it's cocoa, it's going to be Mexican chocolate, and it's probably always going to be bourbon if it's going in there. Yes. I don't know, or maybe like a creme de menthe or a chocolate liqueur or something like that. But I'm a bourbon fan, that. So.
All right, I like this one. Hashtag Munchies. Breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast?
Oh, that's a good one, man. I think it's dependent on what the breakfast is, but I like breakfast for dinner. I like eggs, but I like like egg tacos or something like that. It's kind of blended in. But I could wake up and eat a beef tenderloin in the morning just as easily.
That's pretty aggressive, Chef. Just like, and I know you'd probably eat it cold out of the fridge. Like, would you heat it up?
I mean, no.
Yeah.
I don't even own a microwave. I don't see a use for it. Like, I like cold food. People know me well, know that about me.
Okay.
They shake their head at me a lot, but yeah, I like cold food.
I mean, Chef, I know you. We've had great conversations. Didn't know that about you. You got to
yeah.
explain that when we got more time.
Chef's inspired me. I was getting crazy looks the other week when I was eating like cold buffalo dip or something that was supposed to be cooked, but I was like, well, no, you must understand. My chef friend told me that all foods at different temperatures become different foods and there's value in each. And I went on this whole kind of elitist spiel about how I was better than them because I fully understood the different forms of food. Okay, one more here. Chef, hashtag munchies. Favorite cactus to prepare and eat?
Prickly pear. Cactus?
Yeah, cactus. Is
prickly pears.
Okay, there's an answer for this.
Yes.
I didn't know you could eat cactus.
No.
Well, typically it's going to be a prickly pear, and it's had all the spines removed. Yeah. Actually, the first time I had cactus, I was not a chef at the time. I was much younger, and I was working at a Dow Chemical for a construction company that was out there, and I worked on a team that there was a lot of guys from Mexico on that particular team, and they introduced me to cactus, and it was quite delicious, man. It's kind of reminiscent of Militon or chayote or whatever you want to call it, the Mexican pear or it's a squash. Cactus is similarly textured to that, and it kind of holds firm. I don't know. It takes on flavors too. Like it absorbs flavor, whatever you cook it with. So
okay.
I like cactus. Yeah.
One more. My secret resource has texted in. Chef, what do you eat at 3 a.m.?
This is somebody that knows me well. I don't know who your secret resource is here, but I get up and graze in the middle of the night. I'm borderline like diabetic, right? And so I don't eat a whole lot of food typically at the same time, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and whatever's in the refrigerator is going to get torn up. So
I just love that you call it grazing. Yeah. I did a bit too much grazing last night. I will say that. Chef Michael Johnson, every Thursday, 7:30, hashtag munchies is the game. Chef, thank you so much, man.
Take care, fellas.
Yeah, you take care as well. Okay, closing out hour number 1. When we get back here, boys, stick around on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to AdvantaCleanBR.com. That's AdvantaCleanBR.com. Look, if you have any fire, mold, or water damage, you already know AdvantaClean is the answer to solving all of your problems. And these can be very intimidating problems, right? Like you wake up, all of a sudden you've got you got wet socks when you step out of your bed. That's a horrifying feeling. You're probably thinking, I got to call my insurance company. No, if you call them first, they will funnel you to companies they have relationships with. So you don't know that your best interest will be looking out for. With AdvantaClean, they take care of everything. So you call 369-5228, 369-5228. Call them first. They deal with the insurance company. They deal with the documentation, and they fix your fire, water, mold damage. Look, the next few days are where you're really going to want to be on the lookout as these pipes thaw out. You can run into trouble. AdvantaClean is there for you. Again, 369-5228. Take the number down. They're open 24/7. 369-5228. Go to AdvantaCleanBR.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care. It's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening? Welcome back. OTB. Hanging out with you today. Bo Wilson, is this a hot take? Even though it's a bit cool in nature. It says cold leftover sushi is probably my favorite. Leftover sushi.
How long are we talking here?
I mean, it's got to be one day. Like, we're not going past one day. So let's just say, like, you order it for dinner that night, and I guess you're talking about eating the next morning. Man, that feels intense to me. Like, I don't know, man. Sushi, it feels like every minute is doubling the minute of a normal food where you're getting away from where, like, I don't know if I want to have cold leftover sushi. Bo Wilson, that's pretty bold of you.
Especially if it's got avocado in there. It's already turning brown.
Yeah, exactly. That's browning, the raw fish. You get some sashimi. Well, I mean, I guess that's just whatever. That's just fish anyway. And then Emil McClellan timing in. For what it's worth, ESPN's Field Yates thinks that Deshaun Watson is headed to Carolina this fall. I know that we were talking about Field Yates' article where he tried to predict who's going to be a quarterback in each team. Kind of a crazy arc here for Carolina. Why did they commit to Teddy Bridgewater like they did? If they're like so clearly ready to move on, and they already knew last year was going to be a rebuild type of year,
right?
Like last year was not going to be something where they ascended the heights. So it's very odd to me they would give Teddy the money that they did, and now they are immediately trying to move on very actively.
And Christian McCaffrey, getting injured that early in the season, how much does that affect the team? Probably not enough to make Teddy look like a great signing. But everybody is so quarterback hungry. You'll do anything you can. Like, man, Sean Payton touched him. Joe Brady knows him already. It's going to be an easy transition. We've got all these new coaches coming in, no offseason, but Teddy already knows what Joe's going to be calling. You'll talk yourself into almost anything when you're looking for a quarterback.
If Deshaun Watson does end up in Carolina, a rough NFC South for the Saints gets even rougher, right? I mean, this is a question. do you think, and we'll have to get to it next hour because we're about to be out of time here, but I wonder if Deshaun Watson ended up in Carolina, are the Saints the third best team in the NFC South? It's weird because the Saints are a much more complete team than Carolina overall, but, I mean, you just can't get away from that quarterback factor. It's like how I can't get away from All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. I just absolutely love him. That's why I've gone there not once but twice for my vehicular needs. You want the new 2021s? Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Check out the incredible deals that they have right now on the Camrys, the Highlanders, the Corollas, the Tundras if you want a big truck, the Tacomas if you want a smaller truck, or you already know the minivan gang. Join me, let go of all your insecurities, and select convenience and style over everything. Surely you've seen that new Toyota commercial where they get into the club just because they've got a sweet new Sienna. Okay, I've seen it. I've lived it. I get in the club wherever I go when they see the murdered out Mini. So join me in that level of respect by going to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. All right, hour one of the books. Coming up next hour, we're going to slide into the series.
Hey!
Small Sliders, bringing you a lot of baseball talk. We'll start with Coach Beth Torina at 8 a.m. And then Coach Paul Mainieri at 8:30, previewing a crazy weekend of baseball coming up. Stick around.
Off the bench.
It started in a tiny showroom with checkered floors and just a few cars, which is very different than now, but the Richards Honda philosophy has not changed. Be kind, be completely transparent with our pricing, and above all else, give customers fanatical care. You know, Richards Honda being around for 50 years is so important to everyone around here, and we're all super proud to be a part of that history.
Come celebrate the 50-year anniversary of Richards Honda, I-12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service. HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, February the 28th, February the 18th. Skip 10 days. Today it's Baton Rouge, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 40. If you missed hour 1 or 2 of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Still to come on Off the Bench, LSU head softball coach Beth Torina joins us next. And LSU head baseball coach Paul Mainieri stops by at 8:30. Follow the show today on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Get inside the Bayou Ford chat to interact. Hour number 2 of OTB starts for right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome into, see what I did there? That's for you, Jake.
Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Bench. Hester and T-Bob, Mooster and Danny hanging out as well. And right now, this is our new Thursday lineup. I'm very excited to debut it on this Thursday as we are in the heart of the season of the Diamond, or I guess we're at the beginning of it. But this is, chill out, Mooster. You know, we're workshopping here, okay? This is sliding into the series, brought to you by Small Sliders this hour. Did a little boots on the ground research. Went and got myself some smalls after the show yesterday. Sliders are great. Fries are incredible, man. Go check it out if you haven't checked out Small Sliders yet. But right now, it's my pleasure to welcome in Coach Beth Torina, LSU softball head coach. A frigid one yesterday, Coach. Have you warmed up since run ruling North Dakota yesterday?
It was cold. I feel like we have been cold for however long now. Like, everything we do is cold. I just have worn so much clothes, too, that, I'm ready to go back to the regular apparel, too.
So it was cold, Coach, but the bats were hot, especially Amanda Doyle's. I mean, how about it? The senior, 3 of 4, 7 ribbies. I love this. She hit 2 home runs in 24 games last year. She hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam in 1 inning yesterday. How about Amanda Doyle?
She came around on the second line, and when I gave her 5, I kind of looked at her like, "Wait, did you already hit a home run this inning?" So it was awesome, and I want to soapbox here for a minute. Amanda Doyle is just so deserving of everything she has. She, to me, just represents what it is to be a Tiger. She does the impossible, which is she is consistent in a game of inconsistency, which is so cool. She shows up the same way every single day. You always know what you're getting from her, and it will always be her best. So we're really proud of her.
Coach, I know there's been some challenges to try to get the season started and the rain and the ice, and we were hoping for snow, but cold temperatures, and it's kind of been a disaster. But y'all found a way to get some games in, including moving a game to 11 o'clock yesterday. But I think the mindset of your team is probably pretty strong after what they've gone through to get to this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like the first game had rain, and then after that it's been cold every day, and we're completely unprepared for it. We practiced outside every single day but one that we had an opportunity to this fall and spring, and we still never got within 20 degrees of what we're dealing with right now. But our kids want to play so badly just because of how last year felt. They will really do anything to take the field. So I think that has been good for them. The cold, I'm not so sure, but we are definitely tougher for the last few days. I think the first cold game was a disaster, but after that, I think we're tougher for it.
Well, and let's talk about in this very early season, Coach, after a year of not playing, what sort of lessons do you feel that you've learned, the team has learned? Like, how's it been kind of getting back into the swing, back into here, the beginning of the grind?
Yeah, I think it's going to be good for us. I think, we've been practicing at things that we thought we need to work on for months, right? But now we actually have some tangible things that we know we need to do better because we saw some weaknesses show up, right? So I think that we've got some things to work on, plenty of things to work on. They're a little more tangible, so I feel like we can have a little more focused practice. and we need it. We definitely need it. But ultimately, the relief of taking the field was just awesome. It felt great to be back out there. So no matter what they had to do, they were going to play.
And, Coach, I know you've had a couple of games that have been postponed. Some have been canceled. And I know you had Gardner-Webb coming up tomorrow, but that game has been canceled. Do you expect it to kind of be like that? Like all sports have really been, you assume you're going to have a game, it gets canceled, but you don't panic. You just kind of have to adapt in this season?
Well, I lost at least a day of my life to watching Gardner-Webb film, but we'll talk about that. And then the person that cut all the film for me, Sandra Simmons, surely lost multiple days of her life. But as soon as they canceled, I called them. I'm like, you sure we can't get you guys on a schedule somewhere? We're really ready to play. But anyway, it's been – I can't even explain to you, honestly, the challenges this week has presented. I mean, I've never been through something like this, just calling teams and like, hey, do you want to play? Sure, win it. Let's do it. I mean, everybody's just trying to do whatever they can to get games for their teams, which is really a cool thing if you think about it, that coaches have kind of put their egos aside and they're just trying to find ways for their kids to have a great experience.
I know y'all had games against Central Arkansas that were playing, and we had their athletic director, Brad Teague, on months ago before football because that was a team in football that they were really on the forefront of trying to get a game scheduled. I mean, they did home games where they had the same opponent twice in a football season. Like, that doesn't happen. So, I mean, this is everybody trying to come together. And I know you rescheduled that Central Arkansas game, but this is everyone coming together. But who do you call, Coach, when you make that call? Is it coach to coach? Is it AD to AD? You know, how do you kind of go about trying to schedule some of these games?
Yeah, it's coach to coach, and another shout out to Central Arkansas. They're playing at A&M this weekend. They had them play on Monday because of the weather. They're driving back to Baton Rouge and playing us in a doubleheader on Tuesday. So,
Damn.
I mean, everybody's just trying to do whatever they can do because their kids deserve it. Their young women deserve it, and it's really coach to coach. Just everybody trying to be flexible. Like, hey, I heard of a team that we have North Dakota and Baton Rouge that needs to play this weekend because theirs got canceled. I was calling yesterday for them, like, hey, anybody need North Dakota in the tournament? They're ready to go. So I think we're all just trying to help everybody out and just trying to find ways to make it happen for these women.
I love it. A spirit of collaboration, even when y'all are kind of technically enemies once the game starts. Talking to Coach Beth Torina, the LSU softball team. Coach, y'all have a massive one coming up this weekend, the Bama Bash going down in Tuscaloosa. Back-to-back doubleheaders. Like, there's a lot I want to pick your brain on just there, but preparing, it's weird, right? In football, I approach everything from a football perspective. We talk about trap games, not overlooking your next opponent. Both days, you will start, both in Saturday Sunday, you will start with Liberty, and then you're going to get number 5 Alabama. So, like, how do you kind of get your team to stay in the moment when these are going to be long days and days that, they're both opponents, but one seems to be of a higher caliber than the other?
Well, Liberty's really good. That's one thing, too.
Okay.
They're really good. And the more I watch them on film, the better I think they are. So they're going to be very challenging, too. So we're going to have to show up 4 times this weekend. But, getting the extra game against Alabama with Gardner-Webb not being able to come to the tournament, we picked up the extra game against Alabama. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I know our kids are really excited about the game. I think they're excited about all the games. I mean, yesterday in the game, Morgan Smith, our freshman pitcher, was on the mound, and she hits 2, and it was so cold. And I ran for her earlier in the game, but she was at third during a pitching change. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't get you off the base. And she told me, Coach, I don't care. This is so exciting. It was just an awesome moment. She's like, I love to run, Coach. This is so exciting. So just thinking about how much it means to them to be out there, even the freshmen that weren't canceled last year. I mean, Allie Newland, her first career at bat yesterday, a grand slam. What? I'm not sure she can live up to that every at bat from here on out. But I just think the excitement of these girls will carry through no matter who our opponent is, no matter how long the day is. I think it's going to be really exciting.
And, Coach, your team's built a little different. So, like, having back-to-back doubleheaders, that, would affect someone who only uses maybe one pitcher, which we see teams do in softball or at most 2. But you've got a full staff. And so this situation for you, you know that you can put out a quality pitcher that's rested every time you have a doubleheader.
Definitely. Our staff is strong. And, I think that they've had a few bumps already early in the season. But I'm interested to see what they do when the temps get above 50 degrees. And we got a solid performance from a freshman yesterday, which was really cool. Adding her to the mix of this deep group is just going to make us even stronger. So I think they're ready, and they're super excited to take on Alabama this early in the season.
So doubleheader Saturday, doubleheader Sunday, Central Arkansas doubleheader Tuesday. What is the key to? Yeah, I know, Jake. I agree. Yeah, wild. What is the key to keeping your endurance up? Right, like what's the key to being successful in a doubleheader format like that?
Well, we talked a lot about just the kids that bring energy to our dugout, to our lineup, and that sometimes you kind of have to, tag team. Like, hey, I'm going to really be up and loud for innings 1 through 3, and then, hey, you got me in the 4th, right? Because I need to, chill and eat a snack for a minute, right? So just kind of, passing the burden and sharing the job of creating energy and all the things that have to happen to make us function at our best. We always say you can't be crazy, so we like to be as loud as possible. We like to be in your face. That's how we play LSU softball. So, we'll make sure that we keep that up for 14 innings both days.
So check out LSU softball this weekend. They're heading to Tuscaloosa for the Bama Bash. You can watch on SEC Network Plus. That'll be at 4 p.m. this Saturday and then at 1 p.m. this Sunday. Coach Torina, you're an ass kicker. Thank you so much for joining us this Thursday morning.
I know I feel like it's kind of my job to give you guys a hard time, but I just want to say a big thank you to giving the time on Thursday mornings to our team. And just it's so cool what you guys are doing. These women deserve the time, and you guys are awesome for doing it. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
No, thank you for sure. Wow, and I feel like we really crossed a milestone here. Ever since you called me on that handshake line years ago, look at us now, Coach.
Don't count on that keeping up. Okay?
I'm feeling very warm. On this frigid day, I'm feeling very warm. I feel like my heart has grown 2 sizes. So thank you, Coach, and good best of luck this weekend. Kick Alabama's ass.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, we'll get to some of Field Yates' quarterback selections as some of the names, Field Yates trying to predict everywhere all the quarterbacks are going to go. Some of the names are very intriguing. And then we got Coach Paul Mainieri coming up at 8:30 here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
GEAUXroof.com. What does that spell? Go Roof. You probably knew that because you're from this area. Go Roof is also from this area. Again, as evidenced by the spelling, GEAUXroof.com, 927-8300, 927-8300. If your roof, look, it's kind of crazy out there right now. Who knows what this weather has done to your roof? If you want to get it checked out, get a free professional estimate from Go Roof. No money up front. They come out. They let you know exactly where you stand. Then you get to decide what to do moving forward. If it's insurance, if it's not, they have monthly payment options. They can work with you as well. So great rates, right? So free professional estimate, great rates. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured during the work, and they stand by at a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So remember, I say it every day. When you work with Go Roof, what do you get? A beautiful new roof every single time. Call 927-8300 and hit him with a roofsaw. GoRoof.com. GoRoof.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Hanny, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on off the bench? Hester and T-Bob and Musso and Danny hanging out with you here this morning. We opened the show talking Saints quarterback maybe in the draft, right? Looking at the quarterback market, where they could end up. Mac Jones is a name that's kind of cropping up on the Saints' radar. Jake, real quick side question here. I didn't prepare you for this. Mac Jones and Kyle Trask are both on the board for the Saints at 28. And let's just say they're picking a quarterback, right? Like, let's say they're not like going O-line or D-line. Like, they definitely could. Where are you going?
There's a lot to like about Kyle Trask, and I know people have questions. I don't know at 28. But I do like Kyle Trask. And early in the season, I felt like that was a fit late in the first round for the Saints. I know that he had a couple of bad games there at the end, but if you go quarterback in round number 2 and Kyle Trask is still there, I like Kyle Trask. I like if you can develop him, possibly. It's a guy that still doesn't have a lot of experience because of his story, not starting in high school because of De'Aaron King and then sitting behind Felipe Franks until he took over in Florida, realized Felipe Franks is not a good quarterback, and he thrived. Look, when he came to Tiger Stadium in 2019 on a bum knee and was gutsy and almost led his team to a win, like that went a long way.
They probably shouldn't have played Emory Jones back in 2019. I mean, they kept trying to make it happen. Emory Jones comes in, throws that pick, kind of changed the tenor of that game. So push comes to shove. Trask over Jones. It feels like where you were going with that.
I'm close to making that call. Let me see the pro days there. But a lot of people
ideally
have Trask
you want
far
Trask
from
in the
him.
second round.
Yes.
Okay. If the Saints get him in, well, did the Saints have a second round pick though? Danny, give me the Saints draft pick order here. So Field Yates has a great ESPN Plus article today where they try to predict. He tried to predict which quarterbacks will end up on which teams. There are some notable names in there. I think he had Deshaun Watson going where we mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, Carolina Panthers.
To the Carolina Panthers, which would make the NFC South terrifying. I mean, I think that arguably makes the Saints maybe the third team in the NFC South immediately.
We can do this. We can cut some of the teams that are bringing their starter back in Phil Yates' mind.
Okay.
All right. So let's just cut those teams out. Teams that he believes will have new starters. Obviously, the LA Rams with Matthew Stafford. Okay, we've talked about that one. Obviously, you trade for that guy, he's going to be your starter. Same thing.
I haven't gotten your opinion on that though on this show. Do you think like where do the Rams rank now in the Super Bowl chances after trading for Stafford from Goff?
I still think they're about where they're at, right?
Huh?
They're one of,
Okay.
they're like 3, 4, 5-ish in the NFC. Like, it doesn't make me believe that they're going to go all the way to number 1 or even up to number 2. I still think they have some things that they've got to figure out. I think it's an upgrade, but I don't know if it's an upgrade. It's going to get you to what you think it's going to, which is a Super Bowl.
Okay. So what do we got next on Mr. Yates?
All right, so we got Jared Goff to the Lions. Another, it's the Lions. Like, I'm not going to spend time on the Lions.
It's good for the Lions, I think, to get the draft capital with a new head coach and a new setup.
It likes to eat kneecaps.
Yeah. Shout out Dan Campbell for the most meathead opening presser
of course,
ever.
Like, who do you think? So Hunt and I were doing shows that day. Who do you think liked it, and who do you think said that's stupid?
Yeah, Hunt. Yeah, definitely. There was an interesting dividing line between. You could tell it did kind of separate the meatheads from the more erudite of analysts.
I'm a full meathead. Like, I embrace it. It's fine.
Yes, because I too was kind of hyped on it. But though I don't know, like, if I actually think it means he's going to be a good coach, I just thought I did.
It has nothing to do with his coaching. I just like his mentality.
Yeah, and when you think of a ruthless killer, who else do you think of but Jared Goff? Right? I mean, when you think of the Motor City, you think of Jared Goff, right? Yeah, no, not at all. But that said, like, whatever. Lions are in a rebuild. To get resources and Jared Goff, that's solid. That's a dub.
And we've spent 2 minutes too long on the Detroit Lions.
You're right. My bad.
Jaguars, of course, Trevor Lawrence. The Saints, Jameis Winston. That's who he's got hit as his quarterback for the Saints.
I'm all in, dude. I have given myself fully over to the altar of Jameis. I'm ready to eat W's. I'm ready to watch this man develop. I don't think that I'm going to make any sweeping conclusions off the sample size we saw last year. What I am going to make sweeping conclusions off of is Breeze telling Jameis, this is your team now. And that's what he said. You can try to tell me he said all this. That's absolutely what he said. And so I'm going to ride with Drew here like I have for decades, and I'm fully on board with the Jameis train.
All right. We've already mentioned Deshaun Watson to the Panthers. Here's where it starts to change up a little bit. The Colts, Carson Wentz.
That makes sense with how the market is shaking out. I don't think the Colts are going to get Deshaun Watson. Obviously, they would have been the prime candidates for Matt Stafford. They still worry me about going up for Winston. Like, if there's a team that could raise the price on Winston, it would be Reich, offensive-minded coach. They got a lot of great pieces in place. Great O-line with Quentin Nelson and company.
Likes to push the ball down the field.
Yes. So I'm still worried about that. But certainly if the Saints return Winston, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Carson Wentz. I think the Colts are close. I don't think that gets you any closer.
So here's the deal. The Eagles want the same return that the Lions got for Matt Stafford, and that's just not going to happen. I mean, is Carson Wentz actually good? We saw something yesterday. Jalen Hurts was better last year. Like, I mean, like, what is the value of Carson Wentz? Like, what does it do? Do the Colts get – no, they get worse because you go from Phillip Rivers to Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think they get worse.
So, like, where do the Colts make the playoffs with Carson Wentz next year? I mean, you got an AFC South now, and now as the Titans are a consistent force to be reckoned with.
Better.
Yeah.
They beat the Colts last year, by the way. That was their one win.
I know, Gardner Minshew. I was fully on board.
Season.
First week, that was crazy.
No, the Colts don't make the playoffs with Carson Wentz.
Okay,
take care.
there you go.
Moving on, New England Patriots, Marcus Mariota.
Sure. I don't care. I mean, Mariota is what it is, right? The only interesting thing that I thought about Mariota was maybe that the Raiders would choose to move on from Derek Carr. And I could see, I mean, if there's ever a Gruden grinder, I feel like Mariota probably, like, I feel like Gruden just loves him. And the weird thing about Gruden is how committed is he to Carr long term? Like, does he really, because if you ride with Carr too much, I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with Oakland, Las Vegas.
It's the Raiders.
I
don't say anything good about him here on this show.
Okay. A little NFC West saltiness.
It's AFC.
Coming out here. Oh, yeah. Wow. I shouldn't be doing this show.
Yeah.
Who we got next?
Yeah. Fitzmagic with the Washington football team.
Give me the longtime veteran NFL perspective on Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's beloved in every locker room he's ever been in. People appreciate what he is, which is he understands the situation. He knows he's a placeholder, but he's going to do it literally to the best of his ability. Like, he's going to try to make it his team until it's not his team.
Yeah.
You got to have a strong mentality to do what he does.
Yeah.
Like, to know that they're trying to replace you every single play that you go out there. They're in their mind, they say, we got a younger guy, we've got a draft choice, or we've got this guy that's going to replace you. Just hold it long enough and do it really well while you're out there.
I mean, he made the Dolphins relevant last year.
Oh, they were better with him, and it's not even debatable.
No, the shiny moment was getting taken down by the face mask as he throws that 40-yard bomb to win the game late in the season. I mean, that was just crazy. Yes. So, what team would this be for Ryan Fitzpatrick? Like his 16th
32.
team? Yeah, exactly. It's
got to be double
clean
digits
sweep.
or close.
Shout out.
It's like
Ryan
Steve
Fitzpatrick.
DeBerg back in the day.
Oh.
All right, so we got to hurry. Texans, Justin Fields, from the trade that they made with the Carolina Panthers to get draft picks. I believe at number 8 is where they would select Justin Fields. Don't know if he'll be there.
So are you buying the Texans thing that they're saying? You know, they're trying to be very public about we are not trading Deshaun Watson.
No, I don't believe him. Everybody's available in every single locker room. The price has just got to be right. Zach Wilson for the Jets. Sam Darnold for the Bears. That makes them better, in my opinion. And they were already a playoff team.
I don't know what to make of Sam Darnold because I think Adam Gase is horrible. I mean, were you with Gase?
I was with Goose, yeah. Goose was the quarterbacks coach my first year and the OC my second year. You know he was a GA at LSU, too.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Adam Gase was a GA at LSU with Coach Saban.
Well, I was going to say that would explain the terrible quarterback development.
So, I know. Listen, I'll tell you a quick story. I know we got to go because we have Coach Mainieri.
Yeah, no, we're good.
The thing Goose used to try to do when he was the coordinator, he would try to find an embarrassing picture of you, like this embarrassing picture. He'd throw it up on the screen in front of the entire offense, and then he'd ask you a question about the offense, like a trivia question to see how much you knew. And he'd try to make it hard and try to embarrass you, like as a joke. I mean, not,
yeah,
you trying to embarrass me. As a joke, he'd try to do it, and he'd get some guys, and we started to, hey, Goose, he thinks he's funny. Like, let's get Goose back. And Peyton remembered that Goose was at LSU as a GA. He's like, Hester, can you call somebody and get a picture? So I was like, yeah, I can do it. So I get in contact with Michael Bonnet, and Michael Bonnet sends me a picture of Goose in, like, the worst outfit, like LSU outfit ever. Like, it was way too baggy. It didn't match. And
he's a young GA. He ain't buying his own clothes. He's catching the overflow from the training room.
And Saban is, like, in his full, like, growl yell, like grabbing both his hamstrings at Goose, and Goose is sitting there with his arms crossed, kind of taking it. And we put it up on the big screen and asked him a question. He got so salty at us. He pouted about it.
Is that not the? Does that not kind of? I mean, that is the Adam Gase thing outside looking
He gave
in.
like the.
I mean, yeah, you can dish it out, but you can't take it. I mean, so why is he so bad now?
I don't know, because I actually thought at the time
There's never been anybody,
guy.
but was it all just Peyton?
Probably.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I've never seen somebody fail upwards.
Remember, and
with
Mike
Adam Gase
McCoy.
has.
Mike McCoy got the Chargers job off that season we had in 2012 when he was the offense coordinator with Peyton.
Damn.
Although it really was Peyton's offense, with Peyton calling most of all the things that were going on.
So Peyton would actually call the plays.
Any adjustments, it was definitely Peyton. And Peyton had a strong hold on what was being called.
The game plan is like put together a lot by Peyton.
And all the two-man route combinations or any kind of combination routes, those were all Peyton, because he would get to the line. We'd always be in 11 personnel.
Yeah.
And we would always have a 2x2 somewhere. And anywhere that it was, like, he'd give a quick signal, and that was him calling the route concept off the coverage before the play.
Damn. Wow. The chess master, truly. Peyton made a lot of people a lot of money. Shout out to you, Peyton Manning. Rising tide raises all ships. Anything else on this list that we should break down real quick before we go to Coach Paul Mainieri?
So, the rest are returning starters, but I guess I will say some interesting returning starters. You look at your Matt Ryans, your Derek Carrs, your Ben Roethlisbergers, people we've talked about potentially being somewhere else. Dak Prescott coming back to the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit of note there. So, a lot of names that we think could move at the end of the day probably will be in the same spot. You can't have 12 quarterbacks, kind of move across the market. At least we don't think you can. So still some interesting names out there.
It's a thirsty year for quarterbacks, as you said earlier. I'm also thirsty for some LSU baseball. So let's break it down with head coach Paul Mainieri next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Take advantage of some of the incredible deals that they have going on right now at All-Star Toyota. And look, let the wonderful employees at All-Star Toyota be your guide. Knocking stuff over. Let them be your guide, though, in your car purchasing journey. It can be a bit overwhelming because of the incredible selection, right? The brand new 2021s, the incredible Toyota certified used vehicles, where you get great deals and things like a warranty that you normally get on new car purchases. The 2020s are now cheaper. I lease from All-Star Toyota that Camry. I love it. I'm a big guy. I've never really driven a sedan, and it's been awesome, man. I fit great. I really do genuinely love it, but I really love the Toyota C&M minivan. So if you got kids trying to change your life, make your life way more convenient, there's like literally 17 different buttons that can open the doors, okay? They're awesome. get the Sienna, get the Camry, go to All-Star Toyota. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
You know, that's what the CW, it's hot team filler. You cut out a lot of that.
Yeah.
Really tighten up Arrow. It could have been a great show. A lot of people still thought it was a great show. Welcome back to Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN. And right now, it is my pleasure to be joined at jimsfirearms.net hotline by the man who finally, nearly a year later, we're going to be back in action on the diamond this weekend, talking about Coach Paul Mainieri, the head coach of the LSU baseball team. Coach Mainieri, thank you so much for coming on this Thursday.
Good great to be with you guys. I can't believe it. The time is finally arriving to be able to get back out there and play a team in a different color uniform. It's been almost a year, the longest stretch of my life that I haven't been on a baseball field competing. So we're all looking forward to it.
So almost a year. So what's another day, Coach? Another 24 hours, right?
Well, this weekend has been crazy. You know, we have 3 opponents. So in the midst of a pandemic, you have 3 different opponents. You figure at least one of them will show up, right? We've been having issues all week with all the opponents. You know, Louisiana Tech has 10 inches of snow on the ground in Ruston. They can't even drive a bus from Ruston to Baton Rouge. That's why we had to push the whole schedule back. Notre Dame's having terrible weather up there. The Air Force Academy had 6 inches of snow yesterday, so I'm sitting on pins and needles making sure that they can get to the airport today. I'll be happy when everybody's here and we got games being played and we're going to be able to get through this weekend.
Coach, we've talked about it, but scheduling this year is so many different challenges and just trying to open up the season. And we talked about LSU being in a pretty good spot to be able to have bus trips with really good baseball teams coming in to the box, but weren't expecting 10 inches of snow in Ruston, Louisiana.
For real, right?
Isn't this been unbelievable, really? First the pandemic and then this blast of weather. There's like 3 million people without electricity and heat in Texas, and we're trying to play baseball, so it's craziness. It's been crazy for a lot of months now, but hopefully we're going to get through this time and everybody's going to be okay.
Coach, something we asked Coach Beth Torina a little bit ago was the mentality of her team because of all the things that you've gone through just to try to get to the playing field against another team. And you mentioned the pandemic and having your season canceled and then having this long time with not playing another team and not getting to the games because, as we all know as competitors, the games are what's fun. The games are what you work so hard to get to. So I've got to imagine, yes, it's not the ideal situation to have to push a game back, but your team can almost handle anything with what they've gone through.
That's about right, Jacob. The one silver lining in all this is we're preparing the kids mentally, and we have been for months, that this is going to be a unique year. There's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of last second adaptability that is required. And the difference between teams could potentially be the attitude of the players and how they adjust to changes on the fly and not panic about things, and as well as the coaches. We're the leaders. If every time something bad happens to us, we start reacting, then the players are going to take the lead from that. So we have to stay positive. We have to stay upbeat. Whatever comes our way, we just got to deal with it as mature adults and be grateful that we have even an opportunity to be out there and keep things in perspective. Perspective has been the key word ever since March 11th of last year.
Coach Mainieri, our producer Matthew Musso has quite literally grown up in Alec Box since the time he was born. They've had season tickets. He wanted to pick your brain a little bit.
Coach,
okay, great.
Wondered if you could give an update on the left side of the infield battle now that you've added Will Helmers and Drew Bianco to the mix there.
Yeah, so it's been pretty exciting to see how this last week has been going. I haven't made a secret that my concern, about the left side of the infield. When you think about the shortstops and third basemen we've had through the years here, it's a pretty much an all-star, Major League all-star team practically, And right now we've just been struggling with just making some routine plays. And I know we have a great pitching staff, and I want them to be able to be successful. And it's hard to be successful if they make a good pitch and get a routine ground ball on the left side of the infield and the play's not made. So we've tried a lot of different combinations, a lot of different guys. And then about a week ago, we decided to try Will Helmers over there. Will's been a kid that has really impressed us all with his maturity, his athleticism. He was going to be one of our top 10 pitchers, without question. And when we put him over there at third base, he just seemed like a natural. And this week, he's looked so good. He fields every ball, as you might imagine. His throwing is very strong and consistent, being a pitcher that throws 90 miles an hour and with good command. So I'm pretty certain we're going to go with Will Helmers at third base.
Wow.
And just let Jordan Thompson have some time to keep developing. He's getting better. There's no question about it. There's just inconsistencies with his defense. He's definitely getting better as a hitter. There's some days when you feel like he's ready to go, and then all of a sudden there's some erraticness there. So I think Will is just a little bit more advanced right now than Jordan, and I think we're going to go with Will Hummers at third base. The shortstop position has become quite a battle between Zach Arnold and Drew Bianco, and I think what I'm going to do is play them both. I'm not sure who's going to be in there on opening day, but whoever's not on opening day will be in there probably the next day. So I'm just going to play them both and see after X amount of games. I'm not sure if it's 10 games, 15 games, 20 games, whenever, see if one guy rises above the other. And that's generally what will happen. When the lights go on, you're playing games for real, and you're trying to win the games, you start to see some qualities in one of the players that makes you feel like he gives you the best chance to win. And we'll see which guy that turns out to be.
Some breaking news here from LSU head coach Paul Mainieri. And, Coach, that's kind of where I wanted to go next, what you're touching on there, which is, this is different from like an SEC weekend series, right, where it's one team 3 times, and it's that real, like you're going to get to know each other by that Sunday hardcore. This is 3 different teams over the weekend. How does your approach differ? And this early in the season, is it actually more just about you figuring yourself out rather than the opponent?
I think that's it, T-Bob. I think we're more concerned right now with our own team and getting to know our own players, putting them in situations and seeing how they react to them, and really finding out what the best combination is for us. We actually only have one series of our 4 weekends where we're playing the same opponent. That's Oral Roberts in weekend 3. And actually, I kind of like that. Some variety. It kind of makes you feel like a regional tournament type action where you're playing, multiple teams and you have to adjust and so forth. And it's exciting, I think, personally. And we're going to have plenty of one opponent weekends once we get into the SEC. And as you mentioned, you learn more about those teams you're playing as you're going through the games and what it takes to beat them and so forth. But this point of year, really the main goal is just to find out as much about our own team, figure out the right combination, and what's going to be the best team for us to go out and win in the SEC.
Coach, do you feel like you know more about your team than you've ever known about any team, considering how much time you spent with them and really getting to know them on every level? Then you've got so many guys back that you already knew for 4 years, and I know you've got a lot to learn about other teams, but as far as your team, is this the team that you know the best as far as strengths and weaknesses and what they can do to this point?
Jacob, I wouldn't say it better than I've known other teams, but I would say that the most important thing that a coach can do is to know his own team. There's a lot of qualities that successful coaches have, game strategy and et cetera, recruiting ability, so forth. But I think the greatest skill that a coach can really have is to know his own players and to put them in situations that magnify the things that they do well, to kind of hide the limitations that they may have. Just the old theory of putting them in situations where they have the best chance to be successful. And you really, part of that is a gut feeling, and you watch them in practice every day, and you get to know them individually as people and their personalities and what makes them tick and how they handle situations. But there's really nothing to substitute for how they just will perform in the games when the lights go on. Yeah. And, at the end of the day, we can put all kinds of metrics on things. We do so much analytics now and so forth. But ultimately, it's a human being judging another human being in a subjective way. And as a coach, you're ultimately responsible for what happens. And the players that you select to hit your wagon to are the ones that are going to determine whether or not the program can be successful and whether or not you get to remain as the coach. So, I guess I've made a few correct decisions. I've been able to last for 39 years in this business. So, I'm going to continue to trust my instinct and find the qualities about certain players that I believe that we can live with and feel good about, and that they'll lead us to victory.
Know thyself. A little Socratic philosophy for you this morning from Off the Bench.
Here we go.
How about this, though, Coach? Another one. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Where's the toughness coming from with this team? Do you have one of those kind of tough guys, one of those enforcer types?
Well, in baseball, it's a little different. We're not actually allowed to physically go beat up the other guy too much. So I don't really have any goons on our team, if that's what you're asking. But obviously the leadership of our team is going to come from our pitching staff. We have that veteran rotation. We got a veteran closer. We got a veteran bullpen, and those guys need to lead the way. Our starting lineup should be 3 third-year guys, 3 second-year guys, and 3 first-year guys. So, everybody has to have leadership in their own way. And, the thing that's so unique about baseball is that it's a game where there's going to be failure. It's unavoidable. Nobody ever wins them all. Nobody gets a hit every time or throws a strike every time. And it's how do players handle the adversity, and how long do they stay in that rut, and how do they climb out of it and come back fighting and being successful. That usually ends up determining what kind of team you have is the character of the kids and how they handle the adversity and bounce back. And I feel good about this group. I think they're going to keep getting better. I think they're going to, especially position player wise, I think we're going to continue to mature as the season goes on. And we just need that pitching staff to lead the way, and I believe they will.
Coach Paul Mainieri, thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday. Cannot wait for the opener on Saturday. We will be among that number. Thank you so much for stopping by with us, Coach.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Yes, sir. Good luck this weekend. Cannot wait. Paul Mainieri and the JimsFirearms.net hotline.
Pretty good way to slide into the series. Brought to you by Small Sliders with Beth Torina, Paul Mainieri there.
Ooh, who's
the preview of the weekend?
We need to get NASCAR jackets with all of our sponsors on it and just fully lean into this thing, right? I mean, if Alvin Kamara's getting involved, like, come on.
We might not can afford a car, but we can afford a jacket.
Okay, coming up next, closing out hour 2 here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org. I heard my mic unmuted for a second. For all your plumbing needs, man, look, 925-8552 is the number. Just lock that thing in, 925-8552. Because 24/7, doesn't matter when you need them, they are there to fix your plumbing problems. So, like, sometimes you have things that can't be waited on. You got family coming to town, guests coming to town, whatever. You have a toilet breaks last second, you need it fixed immediately. That's where Central Plumbing comes in. You call them up, licensed, bond insured. Like I said, they get out there ASAP. They fix your problem. You don't lift a finger, and you can't hit them with a problem they don't know how to solve. They've been at it for over 4 decades, y'all, right? So I don't care if you got a new house, which that's very frustrating if you're having a problem, or you got an old house with character, right? Doesn't matter how old the pipes are. They've seen it all. They can fix it all. 925-8552, and we're not just talking residential, commercial as well. If you got a business building, an office building, you need your needs met, they have your back. They can do that. And during this frozen pipes, if you have any problems, you already know. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st. 2021.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
There can be toughness in baseball, right? I mean, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I mean, I think Coach Mainieri misunderstood. I'm a football guy, I get it. So maybe he thought I was coming with a full meathead perspective. I'm not like talking about Dan Campbell here.
No,
I'm not
we're
talking about
talking
getting Sean William Scott out there. Isn't Sean William Scott in the Goon?
Yeah, I think he is.
But who is the Goon? It's Liev Schreiber, who played what's his name in the X-Men movies?
Great voice.
Liev Schreiber.
Sabretooth.
Yes, he played Sabretooth in the X-Men movies.
You know, we're not talking about like, you know,
I'm not saying he's going to charge
We're
them
talking
out.
like Ken Caminiti. We're talking Matt Stairs, Pete Incaviglia. We're talking about, you know, the guys, John Kruk, that would be on your softball team.
Yeah, like who's the
Darren
dog?
Dalton.
That's what I'm wondering. Who's the dog? It sounds like he thinks it's going to be led from the mound.
Which is, I mean, it could be done.
Moose, do you agree with that?
You can have a dog on the mound that's like the leader, right? Like Bumgarner was for the Giants in the World Series that year against the Royals. Yeah. He was their dog.
Yeah, you can, but it's a little tougher when they only pitch once a week. You know,
That's fair.
That's when they're only on the field once a week. That could be a little tougher.
Like when I think about guys that like kind of like sneaky dogs, like Greg Maddux is like a sneaky dog.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just because I
he had like the glasses, like, you know, like
when you step into the batters, Greg Maddux had like a Clark Kent thing going on. Looks very unassuming, but then, or like Peter Parker, right? Looks unassuming, but then he's actually like
rip your heart out,
kill you on the black.
Like, way more powerful than you could ever hope to be. When I think of toughness in baseball, I think of the character from Rookie of the Year. Whoever he's going against when he's pitching,
like the big guy.
And he's got like
Who is that?
He's like grinding sawdust off of the bat. And he's got a huge chewing. He's like spitting like that's the type of goon I'm talking about. Who's gonna walk up in that? Is it Dylan Cruz?
No, I don't think
the young gun. Is he gonna walk up in that? Not
I don't think Dylan Cruz is the guy from Rookie of the Year.
Not gonna have a chew in. But who's
Greg
gonna look
Maddox's nickname was Mad Dog. So
it was.
There
it
you
was.
go.
It was.
Also, if you're into drinking 40s, there you go.
A little malt liquor.
Yeah. Oh man. Old English.
I mean, we're Coors Light here on this show.
Yes.
T-Bob. But
yes. Coors Light fully. Does Coors Light make 40s?
They need to.
We could do an Edward.
They actually make 10-ounce cans.
We should do it. Well, that's perfect for my hands. Also, though, as I get older and I move away from my Dan Campbell-esque meathead sensibilities, you know, back in it'd be like 10 ounces. What's the point, man? Well, the point is the beer stays tastier and cooler.
And you can fit more in an ice chest.
Yes, and sometimes, and it's not like be smart, right? You can and still have as many 10-ounce beers as you want to equal all these 16-ounce beers, but you're not going to deal with that warm beer at the end of the bottle.
Hey,
right?
man, you're drinking that beer too slow if it's warm at the end of the bottle.
The 16s?
Whoa, chill out, Tommy Tough.
Yeah.
saying.
Whoa, geez, okay.
Just saying.
Hey, whoa, okay, we get it. Maybe you should be the enforcer on the LSU baseball team. I don't know, though. Can you drink a 40 fast enough? Because there is.
I don't drink 40s. I don't mean
nothing
malt liquor's
more
gross.
There is nothing more gross
than warm beer
than the last eighth, the last 7th or 8th of a 40. I mean, that is. It just tastes like urine, and it makes you have to do that as well if you've ever played Edward 40 Hands.
It's sterile, and I like the taste.
What is that, Doc? Oh my God, dude!
Patches O'Houlihan.
LaFleur. Why didn't you go for it on
about drinking your own urine? I've got a quick urine story.
Oh. Well, you're in luck because we've got a minute.
Yeah, we do. So this is disgusting. We had a player, I don't want to name the player, when I was with the Chargers. He's like, dude, I'll drink anything for $1,000. Anything. Like, oh, will you? So there was this offensive line, of course, because you are the nastiest group. And the offensive line
desperate.
Got urine in a water bottle, and this lineman drank it for $1,000 in cash money. Full bottle of urine.
He drank the whole thing.
Not even his own urine. Or maybe it was his own urine. I don't know. It's disgusting.
It is sterile, though.
Juan Manuel Marquez, I think it's the boxer's name. He drinks his own urine. He believes it helps him.
What? I've drank urine before, but not on purpose. There's a trap.
How does that happen?
We can tell the story coming up
I've
next
got another
hour.
story. Yeah, I got one too. Let's tease.
He's Tommy
Radio
Tough
tease.
Nuts. I'm Tommy Topper. Coming up next on OTBOT.
Off the bench.
Go to Ochsner.org today. Go to Ochsner. Go look for all your healthcare needs, okay? If you got anywhere that you got like shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, fingers, anything that you need to get right, stop just dealing with the pain. Stop thinking like I can just make it. Let Ochsner maximize your quality of life, okay? Because that's what they do. They maximize your health, maximize your potential in more ways than one. Look, if you are an athlete, junior high, high school, it doesn't matter, ancient athlete, you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, maximize your athleticism, check out Ochsner Performance Training. North Shore, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, all 3 locations, they got your back with the latest training techniques that the pros and major college are using. But if you just want to maximize your health, right, they have the latest and greatest non-surgical techniques, the best physical therapy facilities and personnel, and the ORs and the doctors are second to none. They are your guide. Go to Ochsner.org, Ochsner.org.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st. 2021.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital. Ochsner.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
And injury lawyers.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Thursday, February the 18th. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up on OTBOT, the Pelicans lose again, but Zion had a good night. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
T-Bob's excited.
Yeah.
He'll probably convince you that the Pelicans are going to make the playoffs, but we'll see. OTBOT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back. OTBOT starts now. So normally this way we're going to say goodbye to CST, but hello to you again for the final hour of the show. Also, let's give it up to Jacob Hester. My man has pulled 6 to 8 hours of radio every single day this week. Guys, a little clapping would have been appreciated there from the back row.
Hey,
Thank you.
that was actually in
wow,
unison.
Synchronized
That was really,
clapping.
Really well done.
Chemistry's coming together here, boys. But yeah, Jake, this will be your final day of the double duty,
That's right.
so good luck to you.
The Radiothon without the money.
Yeah, where's all the donations at? But yeah, so shout out to you, Jake. Thank you so much. Really excited for tomorrow. We got a little tease here. We've been keeping it on wraps. We got Durante Jones at 7:30 tomorrow.
Let's
How
go.
about that?
First time anybody's going to get a chance to really hear from him. I'm excited about that one. I know T worked hard to get that one, so
He
let's
was
go.
so charismatic in that press conference. 12 minutes is not enough for the good people of Baton Rouge. So looking forward to that at 7:30. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun tomorrow launching on CST. We are a Coors Light show. People are asking about our favorite beers there. So obviously we like to ride the Silver Bullet.
So that kind of came together because of my love for Coors Light,
Yep.
and they heard me talking about it many times. So I'm excited
Really?
about that.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Don't worry, we're also
I still
Blue
like
Moon.
hipster beers too, though.
Blue Moon Citrus Sweet is a part of that.
Okay, so are we contractually obligated where we cannot speak on any other beers? Probably not the conversation.
Why
to
would
have
you
on
want?
air.
Why would you want to,
You're
T-Bob?
right, you're right, you're right. I found a cool New Zealand beer that I've kind of been into lately, but you know what? It doesn't match. Riding that Silver Bullet right down the Rockies, Bo. Come on now.
See, it feels
I
good.
do
doesn't
love that. I will say the Coors blue can does trick my dumb brain, right? Like I see like the mountains look blue. I'm like, this is better. Like this beer tastes better. Look at those mountains. They're blue now. It must be Rocky Mountain Fresh. Welcome back here. Coming up on this hour, I think it's gonna get a little weird. I'm wondering where we should start. I definitely want to get into the Pelicans, but well,
do you really?
Yes, no, I do. I am not dismayed by last night. Is it disappointing? Certainly. Who maybe said it best? I think Scott Kushner, Scott D. Kushner on Twitter said it best last night, where he was like, last night's loss is the type of loss that I expected of the Pelicans this year. You know, that's a good Blazers team. Dame Lillard and the Blazers are very established.
6
right?
in a row?
Is that what they've won now? I didn't realize they were that hot coming in. So like Dame Lillard and them, they're established. We all know that Dame Lillard is an absolute killer. Like this is known. The Pelicans are still an unknown. They're still learning. So them losing to the Blazers in the fashion that they did, I don't think that's horrible. I mean, it did expose the Pelicans' biggest weakness, which is they don't have a closer right now. I mean, I don't know why Lonzo took the shot, but more so than that,
they didn't try to get to the guy that scored over 30 points in the game either.
Yeah, and was just red hot.
I'd like to see if he was the closer. That'd have been great to see.
Well, it does, because there's a void there. You would like to see Zion take over, and he made the free throws last night when he had to, so you can't even use that excuse. It just seemed a little bit of an overzeal. I think Lonzo was feeling it like he had his hero. Shamit Dua also called it on Twitter last night where he said, the game's getting intense. It's time for everybody to try to do too much and for Zion not to get to touch the ball. And it's literally exactly what happened. So the team has a problem closing games. But I'm okay with that against the Blazers. That is the losses that are inexcusable are the Pistons and the Timberwolves.
Although the Bulls in there.
And
the
the
heater you were
Bulls.
on,
Losing to these teams that are just bad. And losing to them badly. Not just losing, but losing badly. So last night is what it is, man. That's not unexpected. And 51 games in, Zion Williamson is incredible, y'all. And he's only played 51 games. He's still a rookie, and he is doing things that are unheard of. So, again, when I'm asked this question about can Zion Williamson be can you build a championship team around Zion Williamson? You absolutely can. I don't know if the Pelicans can, but, he is worthy, and I'm excited to continue. I mean, where is the ceiling on this cat? I mean, maybe if you get more film, you start to figure out ways to stop him. But right now, nobody has an answer, and he's getting better with the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
He's able to, because he can operate with the ball in his hand, he's able to play in all these unique pick-and-roll situations where, the other night, a couple nights ago, we were all celebrating that big win, J.J. Redick screening for him was actually, the big success, which, how funny is that? Zion taking it off the dribble while Redick is providing the screen. So, yeah, Zion Williamson, there is no reason why you should not be just unreal excited about his potential. How's this for a stat? And this was before last night's, what did he put up last night? 36, 6, and 4, somewhere along those lines. This was before that game. Only 50 games into his career, he had scored more points than anyone in the last 40 years, save for two people. You know who those two people were? Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan. Okay, again, and this just seems to crop up time. Who was it yesterday we mentioned in tandem with Zion?
Wilt.
Yes, Kareem.
Kevin McHale, I think.
Yes, Kevin McHale was in there. Exactly, the greatest names in NBA history. Zion is already challenging all of these records at a young age. And as opposed to his body can't hold up. His body's only getting better. The more time on task that he's getting to spend, he's only getting the flow of things more and more. So
it does feel there's something missing, but it's not far away for the Pelicans. But it does feel like, okay, what is missing? When you look at this team, T-Bob, what is the one thing that is missing? I'm not talking about at the end of the game. I'm talking about for a full 4 quarters. What is it that's missing to you? Because when you look at the talent that they have in their starting 5, when you look at who they have coming off the bench, we're talking about you have 2 lottery picks on the bench. You have J.J. Redick. You have Josh Hart. You have Hernan Gomez, who's been playing extremely well.
Yep.
You've got depth. What is it that's missing that they can't put together where you should expect to win a game against the Blazers that you had a double-digit lead in?
Well, okay, so I think the biggest piece is maybe the biggest piece from last night is a bit more intangible. It's the lack of a closer. For whatever reason, Brandon Ingram this year, and he was better last year, but this year he's just been horrible in the fourth. I don't know what's going on because Brandon Ingram is a bona fide all-star, and he is great in the first 3 quarters. I think he's probably, I don't know, Jake. I actually had this in the document to maybe talk about earlier, which is, so Cody Worsham's Tigers Win podcast just came out. And he deals with the mental side of winning. And this is something that I've thought about a lot in my post-playing career because I wish that I had been much more proactive with things like mindfulness, sports psychology, being prepared for these big moments. It's not physical with Ingram in the fourth. It feels like it's mental. You're a professional athlete. What's the value of mindfulness to you and getting it done when the game is on the line?
No, there's an instinct about it. There's some guys that shy away from it, right? If it's 4th and 1 and some running backs start to walk to the back of the room and some would walk towards it, right? If it's you're in the red area and that some of those receivers would be like, throw me the damn ball. And some would just try to say yeah, I think he needs to get the ball, right? There's a mentality about that. You have to have that mentality and it cannot be faked. You cannot try to force that mentality because it will show, and it will show extremely fast. You have to say, at the end of the basketball game, you give me the ball. Just like we talked about earlier, when Kevin Durant and Draymond Green almost got in a fight because Draymond took the rebound and tried to take the last shot, didn't even get a shot up, and you have Kevin Durant on your team. Kevin Durant went over and said, that should never happen again.
Yeah.
I'm going to close games on this team, right? You have to have that mentality. If I'm Zion, I would have loved to see Zion be like, Lonzo, what do you – no. Me. Yeah. And I know he's young. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think Zion's probably a little too
franchise,
nice and a little too young right now for that stuff.
Well, that's got to leave. Like the too nice stuff, the too young stuff, all that's got to leave because basketball is not other sports, right? There's other sports where if you're a young player, it's like, man, I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah, that's fair. You can take it. I mean, John Moran took over the Grizzlies.
Yes. Zion is the face of the franchise. Even though B.I. is an all-star, Zion's the face.
Yeah.
Okay, Zion has to go, hey, Lonzo, we ain't going to have that no more. Like, you better look for me or at least B.I. in this situation.
So does it give you hope? And by the way, we should point out something else about last night. Lonzo's shot was horrible, but hell of a job by Josh Hart keeping that ball alive and getting a second shot off. But, okay, so what does this do for you then? Because Brandon Ingram, I don't think he's scared of the moment. If anything, he's almost taken too many of these. He's just not making them. So, like, does that mean that he has the mentality and now he just has to just has to get the shots to
like,
fall?
Oh, he's scared. Like, it's not even a scared deal. It's not like he's scared deal. It's when he passed it to Lonzo, like, I'd like to see him do something different. It's you have to have the belief in yourself and just doing it. Like I said, you can fake it, but it's going to show through. Like, you have to think of that situation every time. Every time you're putting up shots in practice and all those type of things that we talk about as professional athletes. But you have to have a belief, man. You got to know, like, oh, this is me. This is my shot. And as we see the clip here, I mean, he's just kind of dribbling. As soon as he sees Lonzo, he gives it up.
Can you develop? Do you think you can kind of foster that winning edge? I know a lot of it is inherent, that it factor, but with things like, because this is something I think that Will Wade's always been very good at with his LSU basketball team. They put so much focus on the 6-minute game, nut cutting time.
Yeah.
That's when it matters most. And they have Greg Graber, the mindfulness coach, who's constantly in there teaching them breathing techniques and preparing everyone. Something that Nick Saban, I mean, I don't know how he was at LSU, but reportedly at Bama, that's been one of the most forward-thinking parts of his reign, has been actively preparing guys not to be overwhelmed by the stage or the setting.
Oh, I thought you were about to talk about, like, the fourth quarter and getting ready for the fourth quarter.
Oh, well, no, I mean, look, conditioning-wise, the early Saban days at LSU were the dumbest things I've ever heard
When we
of.
used to have the trash cans every 5 yards when I first got here, I'm like, oh, are those, like, obstacles just so we run around? They're like, no, it's for you to throw up in. Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, y'all used to run ramps. Y'all used to run rabbits. Y'all, curves, that's what they were called. Y'all ran more early on. But wasn't that kind of because, like, when Saban rolled in, he was like, I want you to be the bad guy, Moffitt? And then I can kind of come in and little good cop, bad cop, or is it just bad cop, bad cop?
The good cop must have been absent when I was here.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Look, it's all a roundabout way of saying that I think the biggest problem with the Pelicans right now is the lack of a fourth quarter closer. As far as the roster goes, it is just shooting, consistent shooting. When they're on, when guys like Josh Hart and Lonzo are hitting, you see the impact that it has. But like JJ's not been hitting this year. That's really hurt them. So certainly, like every other NBA team in the modern three-point era, they could use more shooting. But less tangibly, I do think just figuring out the fourth quarter answer is one of the next hump that this team needs to get over. Oh, and don't be horrible on defense, which they have been. And again, Dame went for 40 last night, but sometimes you just can't stop Dame from going to 40-plus. All right, when we get back here on OTB, I guess I'll tell that story that I was teasing at the end of hour one. So stick around here on OTB.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only, subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, OT, T-Bob, Jacob, Musso, and Danny hanging out with you. Jacob was asking me why I do not like the Sonic the Hedgehog video games so much. I have this beautiful, Dan, if you give me a shot here, this beautiful Sonic the Hedgehog sweatshirt. This goes back to my boy Scott Prather, host of the Great Scott Show, which is a great title, over there in Lafayette. Went on
Great
with,
Scott.
Yep, exactly.
I got you.
Now you get it.
I get it.
And, but I went on Scott Weekly, and so this was just a very kind gift from him for doing so. And here's my deal with Sonic. I loved it as a kid, okay? I don't love the gameplay now necessarily, but I do love this sweater. I mean, first off, look how clean this Starfield looks, especially on screen. I think it looks great. It's very comfortable, and I like Sonic as a video game mascot, right?
Is it comfortable?
Unreal comfortable, which you wouldn't expect because it looks like this is a little hard. The actual
looks a little
beans,
itchy.
but no. Feel that. Catch a little feel of the sleeve. Just reach your hand inside my sleeve.
What did you already spill on the sleeve there?
Well, I don't wash my sweaters that often because I don't want the color to fade. So who knows? It could have been a lot of stuff.
So you're wearing a stink sweater.
If it stinks, I would not wear it. I mean, do you think that we overwash our clothes in America? Because I kind of do. I think if it doesn't smell, there's no need to wash it. You can probably get 1 or 2 more uses out of it. You don't want to leave it bundled up on the floor.
Like during training camp, yeah, you can get the underwear, turn it inside out, get another day out of it.
That's horrifying. During training camp, that's literally the exact opposite of what I'm saying. I'm talking about
you don't
just
wear
like
your underwear at practice.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But that's the only time it's okay. No, I'm going to wash my clothes.
Underwear tends to only make it one use of me, though.
That's in your training camp.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying I still, like, that is one of the pieces where normally, and pants a lot of times, too, normally only make
like
it
pants
one.
are, like, typically for most people, like jeans, like a lot of people don't wash their jeans after they wear them every single time.
When I wore jeans, I used to just stick them in the freezer.
The freezer?
Huh? How about that?
Why?
Wait, what?
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody told me one time that's how you should clean denim or something. Put them in the freezer. So I've just
like with baking soda?
No, I don't know.
Why don't you just starch them? I don't understand.
I don't know.
What are you going for here by putting your jeans in the freezer?
I have no idea. I just sometimes people tell me to do things. I'm like, that makes sense to me. Let's do it.
But what part of it made sense for you?
Because I'm like, okay, little smelly microbes probably can't survive in those frigid temperatures. And so it's cleaning them and keeping the.
Did you fold them when you put them in the freezer?
Yeah, for sure.
So then when you took them out, how long did it take for them to
Well,
thaw?
you're not.
And then
You're not wetting them first, so they're not ending up.
But they're
frozen.
still hard.
No, not particularly. They'll loosen up very quickly, and it's a way of actually saving the quality of the denim. Or at least that's what I was told.
I'm sure.
I don't know. I watched a lot of How to Make It in America on HBO. They were starting a jean company, and they never said put them in the freezer.
Well, not everybody's got the excellent insights. Look, I'm.
You do have a clothing background in your family, so I get it.
I'm a general studies major. Okay, I can't be contained.
But your jeans in the freezer.
Yeah, I can't be contained to any one source of knowledge. I want to know a little bit about all topics, right? It's like how I just told you that over 2 million sailors died from scurvy in the 17th and 18th centuries. 2 million is a huge number. Or the fact that Magellan set out with 5 ships and 250 sailors to try to make it around the world. And you know who made it back? 18 people and 1 ship. But by God, they made it back to the port they left from 3 years later. That's insane. So Magellan wouldn't have died if he hadn't tried to convert these natives like 2.5 years into the journey. Like Magellan, chill, bro. Just finish the journey. Either way, put your jeans in the freezer.
No. Do not do that. I actually agree with Champ here in the Bayou Ford chat. The third round of wearing jeans is when they fit the best. He says he gets 5 days out of his jeans.
Okay, well, have you ever heard "Don't knock it till you try it"?
Oh, I'm not closed-minded. That's somebody else that sits in the chair.
So that's what I'm saying. So just maybe throw them things in the freezer. Well, you don't wear jeans, Musso. You do, I believe.
I use a jean every day.
Love a good. Not every day.
Most.
I mean, when it's cold. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm in shorts.
Danny, you strike me as a black skinny jean type of person.
Oh dear Lord.
Hey, I'll wear
I do wear black jeans.
Danny.
Yeah,
are you
black jeans, exactly.
Are you trying to say Danny strikes you as a hipster? Is that what you're going for? You didn't really want to say it?
Danny, do not have any slander from anybody here. I'll rock a pair of black skinny jeans with you, man. It's fine.
I had a pair of black jeans that I was in love with for years. And then I tried to do a split in them, and I almost pulled my groin, and I tore the jeans, and I never got a new pair. So it kind of bummed me out. Mark Cumby, excellent shows, How America Was Built. Look, I don't know about that show, but it's National Geographic History magazine I got a subscription to is the best toilet material that you can fathom because it's just all these wonderful little history nuggets just sprinkled in throughout. But enough about history. How about the future, Jacob?
Back to the Future?
Well, I think this is unprecedented. So I think we're going we're going into the future.
Okay.
Back into the future. I don't know. Redefine Meat is a startup that uses industrial 3D printing to create steaks. It raised, that is like steak like meat. It raised $29 million in its first round of funding. Thanks to a bunch of venture capitalists. But here's the deal. Redefine Meat uses 3D printers and ink to print the steaks. The firm aims to sell the printers and the cartridges to meat distributors worldwide who will both print and distribute the meat once produced. The ink is made of plant-based ingredients similar to what a cow eats, contains proteins from legumes and grains to create the muscle texture of the alternative meat. It also contains fat from the plants to mimic beef fat and natural flavors and colors to mimic the blood factor in meat and its juiciness.
T-Bob.
That's pretty cool.
T-Bob.
Hell yeah, dude.
T-Bob.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
What if you could print Wagyu whenever you wanted?
You're talking about ink and beef at the same time.
Yeah.
No.
Look, ink is in quotes. It's a way of giving us some perspective on, a point of reference. It is this proprietary mixture, whatever this is, this plant-based stuff. Then you put in a 3D printer and you could print whatever size steak you want. You want a tiny little one?
Again, I will try it. Like, I'm not going to just not try something because, that's dumb. I'll try it. But can it live up to the good old cow?
Not yet, but I don't know that it won't be able to. You have not had like the Impossible Burger so I know there's a couple fast food places you get that. There's an Impossible sandwich at a coffee place that you can get, national chains. And I'll have to say, there's the Impossible Whopper. It's pretty damn good. It's really surprisingly good. Now, don't go out there thinking because it's plant-based that it's healthier for you, because it is not. I think the goal is that it's better for the environment, and the goal would maybe just to be able to provide food to people maybe one day in a utopian future. But I think it's pretty damn wild that our brains have figured out ways to print steaks.
Yeah, you're trying to put ranchers out of work.
I think the beef industry is going to be just fine. Okay, that'll be a long time before they're in trouble. I will say this: Redefine Meat. We have a lot of open live spots. If you want to hook Off the Bench up with a meat printer, that would be incredible. Like, what if every day we could just print a different shaped meat throughout the show? We could have a meat in the shape of like Paul Mainieri's face, or a meat in the shape of Ed Ogeron's face. Tell me that wouldn't be fantastic.
Why would you want to eat their face?
Just be, human beings love faces on their food.
That's not true.
Remember the toast that looked like Mary that people freaked out about? There's all kinds of stuff like that. The Guinness Book of World Records or Ripley's Believe It or Not used to be full of that kind of stuff.
Who are these people you're talking about that liked people? What? No one likes people's faces on their food.
Daniel Basham says the scientists are so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. They absolutely should. And I want to print steaks here on this program. Okay, so the story that I was alluding to earlier.
I'll take a cow.
Look, I like a cow too. But in the dark dystopian future, what happens when, mad cow disease breaks out and then we're forced to go to these 3D defined meats? I'll tell the story real quick about when I drank a bottle of urine. It all goes back, like most things, to Will Blackwell.
Yeah,
and
it does.
We were roommates in college, freshman year. And he used to have this big Dasani water bottle that he would always refill and drink. Well, Josh Jasper, our other roommate, would break into it and drink it quite a bit. He would, just take it or whatever. And I may have taken a time or two as well. Because it gets very hot and you walk in there and you're very thirsty walking back from class, so you want to slam water. Well, I ran into one of those days and I opened it up. There's the Dasani. I'm dying of thirst walking back from class. And I chugged this thing without stopping. It's only then that I had that Dumb and Dumber, that type of moment where I'm like, oh, what? And I started to panic a little bit. I was like, what was in that? And I asked Will. Will was sitting there kind of giving me this look. I was like, dude, was something in there? Was that? And he felt so, and this I know is true, he felt so bad at the time he lied. Said, no, that was just water. You're fine, whatever. And then years later, I was thinking about it again. I finally confronted him. And no, I had walked directly into a booby trap. He had cut that water about half urine, half water, to get us, to lay the grounds for us stealing his Dasani water bottles. And so I chugged a full bottle of it. And it tasted horrible.
And you kept going?
No, I mean, I finished the entire thing. That's how thirsty I was before the taste really hit me. Because it was ice cold. Taste gets buried under the cold a little bit a lot of times. It was the aftertaste that really stuck in me. I felt like I had to scrape my tongue a little bit, get it out of there. But be careful, kids. Look, respect your roommate's boundaries is a big, I think, learning lesson from that. As I come to get older, I can admit my fault in things. I probably shouldn't have stolen his water, and I never would have drank his urine.
My roommates were Luke Sanders and Craig Steltz.
They probably did that for fun.
And there was a lot of grilled chicken smell when you walked into
Oh, my God.
our apartment.
Like, what, like grilled chicken and broccoli?
One of our biggest feats was to get Luke to eat a cupcake during finals week.
Wow.
We were fired up.
But Papa Sanders, that's an intense man, right? I mean,
He was a
strength coach at West Money
Monroe
forever,
for
right?
a long time. And so Luke had a
That dude
diet.
he probably had Luke running 110s at what, like age 8?
Without question.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Luke was as focused as you'll ever find someone. I mean, he was not going to get off his diet. Of course, me and Flynn, being the great humans that we are, we forced him, belittled him into eating a cupcake.
That sounds like bullying.
Time. A little bit.
Peer pressure.
Although he was bigger than us.
Yeah, Luke was a badass as well. All right. Well, when we get back here and off the bench, we're going to talk to Scott Kushner about this Pelicans team. So join us and stick around here on OTB-OT. Oh, get your
OTB-OT. Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Hanny, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Camry for $299 a month. That's $299 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town USA.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTBOT, T-Bob, Musso, Danny, and Hess hanging out with you today. Breaking news is the NFL says salary cap minimum is going to be 180. Could be high, so that's good. So let's talk to our resident NFL expert, Scott Kushner, at Scott D. Kushner on Twitter. Scott, I want you to go as detailed as possible. What are the ins and outs into the equations that create the salary cap floor in the NFL?
Yeah, so there's a cap machination that's involved, T-Bob. I don't know if you understand. When the revenue streams combine with the ownership and the lawsuits, there's a lot going on with the Glavin. I don't know. I have no idea.
Excellent job there, Scott Kushner. Of course, Scott is actually one of our resident Pelicans experts. He writes for the New Orleans Pelicans for the Advocate. And Scott, you had a tweet yesterday that stuck with me, and that I used on today's show as well in our conversation, which is like, I'm not so upset about last night because, as you said, like, those are the losses that are acceptable, that you maybe would have expected coming into this year. It's like the Pistons and the T-Wolves. Those are the ones that make you pull your hair out. So what was your overall breakdown of kind of the value of last night?
Yeah, I mean, the fact, the number one priority coming into the season is make Zion Williamson an all-star, right? Mm-hmm. Allow him to reach that potential. Check. I don't necessarily know how he'll make the All-Star game, but I would be very surprised if he's not on the roster. And now at this point, he is actually deserving of it as well. He is a freight train. He has been an excellent distributor. They've used him very well, and they've really unfettered him from a lot of the problems that kind of existed in the first couple weeks of the season. So that's kind of the biggest priority, and you saw that last night. He was great. Sometimes you're just going to get outdueled by a player who is better than anybody you have. And quite frankly, Dame Lillard was that last night, and he was awesome. And sometimes you're just going to lose. And they're at the point right now, you're sort of still in that developmental stage, honeymoon stage, however you want to call it, that the wins and losses really aren't that important. What's the difference between doing the 10 seed and the 11 seed, whatever it is? Like, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. The fact is you want this team to be playing in close games. You want to see what they can do in a close game. And then learn from it. And that was what you got last night. And that's not what you got in a lot of the losses this year, where you were losing by 30 points and not defending anybody. Everyone's talking about why they didn't play hard. Totally different deal last night.
Yeah, and so there's been some improvement. Even though the win and loss the last two games have been they've played very hard. And Zion's just been absolutely outstanding. Scott, last night I said that maybe the Pelicans' biggest flaw was exposed, which is outside of like a roster, intangible flaw, which is like, I just don't know that they have a closer yet. Brandon Ingram isn't afraid to take the shots, but he hasn't made the shots this year. Zion, for whatever reason, doesn't get to touch the ball at the end of the game. What's your thoughts on, like, is that actually one of the Pelicans' biggest flaws right now?
Yeah, and now I think it's too early to say it's like, a huge red flag that needs to be addressed, those kinds of things. But I think the evidence that's been shown thus far puts Brandon Ingram in a really rare category in the NBA, which is a guy who wants the ball at the end of the game, who isn't good at the end of the game. Most of the guys in the NBA who want the ball at the end want it because they are awesome in that position, and which Chris Paul always was, and guys like Kobe Bryant, and
I mean,
like
Dame
you can go down the
Lillard,
list.
right? Like last night,
Yeah,
like Dame Lillard.
exactly. Like he got. You could see the second the ball touched his hands, it was like he's not going to pass the ball to anybody, and he's going to score, and they're going to take the lead. I don't know how, but he's going to do it. And sure enough, he gets in there and scores. There are just guys who are really good at that. And who do it more than 50% of the time, 60% of the time, which is incredible in a league where guys are that good. Brandon Ingram, not that guy. He is insistent on wanting to be that guy, which you need, but at the same time, you have to be productive in the spot. It's kind of it's a weird position, and it's not something you come across often because these coaches spend so much time begging their stars to want that moment. That when they want the moment and they suck at it, I don't know exactly what you say or how you pull that back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's a little awkward.
I don't know what you're like. How we told you to start taking the shot every time? Like, stop. Don't do that anymore.
Let's just revisit it. We'll just revisit it at a later time. Yeah, just bring it to a
try
music.
it. Like take a break. Pass the ball to the guy who has 35 points and who's completely unstoppable. Like, why don't you give that guy a try? Yeah, the fact Zion didn't touch the ball at the end, I think, is troubling. They tried to run a pick and roll with him. It's not as if he wasn't involved in the play at all, but still troubling that he doesn't touch it. And it's what happened to Anthony Davis his first couple of years. If anybody remembers in New Orleans, like Tyreek Evans would go to the rim every single time, and they did not pass Anthony Davis the ball in those situations. Then eventually he started doing it, and eventually he got pretty decent at it. So I'm not saying it's like a long-term huge problem, but it's definitely a problem right now because all we can go off is the evidence that's been presented, and it's not great.
Scott, we were talking earlier, what's missing from this Pelicans team, because when you look at it, we all know it's a talented roster. They've got lottery picks, 2 of them to be exact, that are on the bench and coming off the bench for this team. So it's a deep basketball team, but they're obviously missing something. So I'll ask you this, what are they missing the most, and can they do anything about it in this season?
They could certainly use some better shooting, more consistent shooting. What you've seen develop over the last few weeks is that Ingram is a great ball handler and Zion is a good distributor and ball handler. And with those two things, you don't necessarily need guards like Lonzo and Eric Bledsoe. You need guards who can fill it up and who command attention and gravity to the outside. So that would help them tremendously offensively. Offensively really isn't the problem, though. The problem right now is they get broken down at the point of attack constantly. They overhelp defensively, which scrambles them, and they just give up a ton of wide-open threes in a league where everyone makes wide-open threes except the Pelicans.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is it's a huge problem. So they need guys who are better defenders on the perimeter who can stop the ball a little bit better. And I think that's probably the biggest glaring need, and that's probably something they thought they were going to get with Eric Bledsoe, and he just hasn't been that guy. I think, what Drew did, they probably underestimated it while also overestimating it. I don't know exactly how to say it, but they definitely miss Drew on nights like last night where they just get killed by a guard. And that's been happening a lot this season. They just give up a ton of wide-open threes. So they need to address that in the offseason more than anything. And everybody's blaming the scheme, which is partly in blame of that. Like Stan Van Gundy's first, mission to start training camp was like, we're going to show off the paint and, make teams beat us from deep. It's like, well, they're killing you from deep.
Yeah,
so then he's adjusted. Yeah. So he's kind of adjusted. He's done a lot of different stuff. There's only so much you can do. And it doesn't really matter. They're just not very good at it because they can't stop the ball. And so all those things, that's really what they need to address. And I think if they get shooting, and a lot of those guys will be able to do the same thing, which is slow down guys at the perimeter while at the same time be able to fill it up on a more consistent basis from out there.
Well, and so let's end on a positive then here, Scott, because if there is one thing that you can take heart in, it is that Zion Williamson, only 51 games in now, is just like ascending at a startling pace, right? There were all the numbers about the 24 points a game with over 60% shooting. The other thing I saw was through his first 50 games, he has more points than anybody in the last 40 years except for Michael Jordan and Shaq. How transcendent, do you have any perspective? What can you say to kind of reinforce those who may be on the fence about trying to care about this Pelicans team that, if nothing else, Zion is worth watching?
He really is, and I wouldn't have said that the first month. His numbers were fine the first month, but he wasn't that exciting to watch. It was really, he was kind of just getting the ball and barreling toward the basket every time. And it didn't matter how many guys were there. He would get erased a lot at the rim. Like, that is not happening anymore. He is initiating offense, and when double teams come, he's passing out of it. Like, he's basically like a defensive tackle playing point guard. It's like insane to watch. Who's unstoppable at the rim. He has like the highest field goal percentage at the rim and the most attempts at the rim. It's like it's insane what he's able to do. It's weird because in this era, that isn't what necessarily wins you games anymore, unless you have a team that's really well built around it. Like the AD LeBron Lakers are kind of well built to do that sort of stuff. Zion has a ton of incredible skills, though, and he is only getting better, which is pretty wild to think about. A guy that's scoring at this level and this level of efficiency, he doesn't ever miss anymore.
No.
Every shot's like within 2 feet for the most part, because he's able to get past people because he's quicker than them, he's bigger than them, and he finishes better than everybody else. So it's like this kind of savant level quality that he was not. And again, like, I was not saying this a month ago. He's found this gear in the last few weeks. It's been pretty special to watch, even though the team objectively is not good.
No. But at least it's fun to be able to watch a young superstar really come into his own, right? So, like, there is viewing thing there. Scott D. Kushner on Twitter. Catch his work in The Advocate. Also, check out the Polk and Kush podcast. Scott, thanks so much for waking up with us this morning, man.
All right. See y'all later. Have a good day.
Later, brah. Hoiple. He's also a Tennessee fan. We just didn't have time to get into it. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Coming up next here on OTBOT.
OTBOT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st. 2021.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help. and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly...
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. NFL free agency inches closer, and we got a full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, welcome back. Ask the Bench. Best coffee in Baton Rouge.
The one I brew at my house. No.
Do you do pour over?
I've done it before.
I do have very into the pour over game.
I do have my coffee maker grind. We do whole beans and it grinds it as it makes it.
Yep.
So
hell yeah.
I don't really have I don't have the time to really stop and get coffee. I enjoy Highland coffee.
I'm just like I love the vibes of Highland coffee for sure, French truck, all that. But I'm there for the drugs. I'm there for the caffeine. So like something like a nitro cold brew from Starbucks that is just chock full of caffeine, sure. I used to get this iced coffee back in the day before I would do the 4-hour 8 to midnight show on L. I would go to Sacred Grinds in New Orleans, and I would get an iced coffee with a double shot of espresso in it, and just basically see if I could feel my heart pounding out of my chest. Hashtag Ask the Bench in honor of National Drink Wine Day. What's your go-to?
Pinot Noir.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, me and Musa were kind of talking about this yesterday. I've always been a cab guy.
I'm a cab.
Are you?
But I'm getting to the point the same where I am with a lot of these porters and dark beers and all this other stuff. I had it so much I'm kind of over it. Like I don't care about a coffee porter or a chocolate porter or anything like that anymore. And I'm kind of over cab a little bit.
Pinot Noir is very good.
I just don't like white wine.
Syrah is not bad either.
I just don't like white wine. I like Franzia. I used to love Franzia Fridays where we would slap the bag.
A Pinot Noir.
Slap the bag.
Hashtag
Franzia,
Ask the Bench. Hardest football hit you've ever taken and from who?
Oh, yeah.
Mine was actually Jeff Dimps. And it was against Florida, and we got our ass kicked, and Spike's punted the ball in the stands. It was the last kickoff return, 3 minutes left. It was a sky kick. I turned around. Dimps is super fast. He had been pushed in the back, and it was just like catching a perfect punch. He was head down, hurdling, caught me under the chin. I was so much fatter than him. He fell on the ground, and I was stone cold knocked out, fell on top of him. Next thing I knew, I woke up at a knee with the Florida team. And that's when I knew I was messed up. And that's the first thing I remember after getting knocked out with 3.5 minutes left in the game.
Let's see. Joe Mays, we're playing at Denver. We only dressed 3 running backs. 2 of them were down. Tolbert was down. Ryan Matthews was down. And so I was the only fullback or running back left. And so I was getting every play, which was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And we run a toss sweep to the left. I cut it inside, and there's green grass, and I'm, like, running. I got, like, 7-8 yards. I'm like, I'm about to score. And I get hit right in my ear hole by Joe Mays, who was, like, 5'9", 240, squatty-bodied linebacker.
Ooh,
and
that's dick.
So the last thing I remember is Randy McMichael comes over to me. He's, like, shaking my helmet. He's like, hey, I haven't played running back since high school, and I'm not doing it today. Wake up. Wake up. And then Randy actually calls a timeout. Not Norv.
What?
Randy calls a timeout. He's like, Norv, I ain't playing running back. and kind of got the smelling salts and the.
I'm about to say this is pre-concussion protocol.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
assuming here because you stayed in the game.
Oh, yeah, I was running back. I wasn't coming out of that game.
This is my chance.
Yeah, but it was a hit that felt like, I'm sure to him, hitting a home run on your hands. You know that feeling. I'm sure it felt like that for him because I was hit to the ground in about 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, it's like Family Guy. Those old Family Guy fights where they just go punch standing to the ground like it was nothing. I know you've had a celebrity softball game. You ever thought about a celebrity basketball game? A lot of ACLs and I don't know if I want to play adult basketball. Every time I have, it's been fun, but it's very grindy. It hurts very bad.
I want to put together a
celebrity footy game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you knew where my head was.
Now we're talking, dude. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I would love that. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's OTBOT. Some news to share. Danny, if you want to bring up the video. Somebody has remastered Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up, and it is now in 4K 60 FPS. Look at how clear that picture is, dude. Astley's red hair has never looked better than it looks right now.
How do you remaster it that well?
I don't. Okay, I've never looked into it. How does remastering work, right? Because if you go watch stuff like A New Hope on Disney, that came out in 78, 77, and it looks unbelievable. Like the amount of detail you can see in people's faces in this Dolby Vision. So maybe it's that the original film always had that quality, but our screens couldn't display it. I don't know. That's been my theory. I've never looked it up, but damn, look how smooth Rick Astley looks.
That hair is nice.
And it's so nice, dude. I mean, it is shining
blazer
on a whole nother level. So here on OTB, we will never give you up. We will never let you down. We'll never turn around and...
Look, here's the deal. We're going to be officially official tomorrow. Going steady, the whole deal.
We should open the CST show with a Rickroll instead of headlines. Let's dive into some headlines, and then it's just Rick Astley for the next 10 minutes.
Well, we could have done that, but you just ruined it.
Oh, y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow at
I'll
CST.
see you in a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
OTB, OT.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Good